Hello, hello, peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. I know I haven't been streaming for some days. I know I done had my own issues and stuff like that, but I am back, family. I am back. Hopefully, we can have a good long show. Maybe not too long, but we can have some fun. We can get cover some things that I wanted to cover that I missed out on, and we just see where we going with it. Shout out to the visionary in the building. I'm also happy you put the green hand up. You already know red, black, and green, BYB. Shout out to you, HH. Hi. Shout out to B Hop in the building. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter in the building. You already know red, black, and green, BYB. Shout out to Frank Rice in the building. You already know. Shout out to President Jafar in the building. Yes, we about to get started, family. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all supporting the stream any way y'all can. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, so we about to get started. I just wanted to I know where I'm gonna start. We're gonna start here. Shout out to everybody in the building. For all you who don't know, because I know some people don't know this, Gary, Indiana has been without power for 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And I want to go and I want to cover this. Because I wanted to start with the day that it happened, but there's been so little bit of coverage around this situation that they didn't start making national news somewhat until like there was a weekend. So like they was without power for like a whole week. But yeah, I want to show you some videos and I want to get into this. Shout out to everybody in the building. So yeah, here we come. Oh, we got Gary in the chat. Prayers going out to y'all. Support going out to y'all. If you know any type of like thing that we can donate to help y'all out, let me know. But yeah, let me look at some of these videos. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see what the people of Gary are doing.
These are all the things that people take for granted. The basic things as far as like power, taking a shower, flushing your toilet, anything of that nature like that. So we really under siege, and I hope they just take care of the situation.
They say we probably won't have no power back home until about the 12th of September. And that is too long for anybody to be without power. And all the stores and everything is closed up around here with no, food and stuff. So, I don't know. All we can do is pray that we get it on.
Disgusting. The Trump administration is disgusting. Disgusting. This is one of the things I said was going to happen if Trump wins the election. He's such an incompetent, and he's so incompetent, and he's so racist that this is stuff like this is going to happen. Mind you, this has been going on for 2 weeks, and it hasn't even gotten routine national media coverage. And I said that. I said you're going to have bad things, super bad things happening to black people, and you're not even, unless you plugged in and you're really in tune with black issues, you're not going to know what's happening. You're not going to know. I think I found out about this a week ago. Mind you, when I found out about this, it had already been going on for a week. I'm pretty sure the average person doesn't know about this situation. Beyond disgusting, beyond disgraceful that this is happening in America. Not getting no traction, nothing at all. But yeah, let's go to some other videos showing how the community is coming together and helping each other. And shout out to Roland Martin because he's been covering this. That's kind of how I found out about it.
Here in Gary, it's truly hit or miss. There are a few blocks, we're talking a very small pocket that has power, but the vast majority of people are still in the dark after 10 days. As patience runs thin, people in this community appear to be growing stronger.
You ready for the next table?
At the corner of 5th Avenue and Jefferson, you can hear the chatter. Folks are fed up because they're without power, but as they wait in line at the City Life Center, they're feeling encouraged and experiencing the love with every scoop of hot food served on their plate.
Make no sense complaining. just thank God we still here.
Carl Brandon is among the hundreds relying on food and AC from the city of Gary. And as much of Northwest Indiana continues to wait on NIPSCO to restore power, those crews have been putting in work. But 10 days later, about 75,000 customers are still without. Carl is fortunate. His power was restored Wednesday night.
It's been
75,000 people still waiting without power in the United States of America. And they've been like this for 2 weeks. And people are celebrating, saying this is an improvement. It's only 75,000 in the United States of America. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. This is what you get with Trump. You pretty much can't eat none of the food because beef has been recalled, lettuce has been recalled, blueberries have been recalled, mixed berries have been recalled. Everything has been recalled. So you can't pretty much eat anything. Like it's power outages everywhere. The country is completely falling apart. And this is one of the things I talked about again, why Trump couldn't win the election. Because it doesn't matter if you don't care about the quote unquote racial stuff or you don't care about race and all that. It's things like this. Things like this. We having outbreaks, everything. The country is going to complete shit right now. Mind you, if a Democrat had been president, especially Kamala Harris, and 10% of this was going on, it would have non-stop coverage. Non-stop coverage. And you would have the FBA bozos and all the other ones making non-stop videos about this. Mind you, when have you heard the FBA talk about this? I have literally seen 3 people who are FBA talk about this. 3. O'Shea just made a video about it like today. The water piss. He made a video, but he was claiming that this was some type of conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy. It's not what you think it is. It's not just government incompetence and nothing like that. It's a conspiracy. And you had another video made on the African Diaspora channel, and Phil didn't even make the video. Roland Martin himself probably made more videos about this topic than the whole so-called new black media and all these other bozos. You know why? Because they can't clout chase off this. They can't attack Democrats for this, and they can't get no money off this. And they can't attack black immigrants. Where the fun in that?
very difficult, but we pulled through it.
But he's here like so many, getting a charge to their cell phones and a recharge of community.
It's waking us up and letting us know to come together. That's it. Come together.
Lake County is one of 22 counties in Indiana to issue emergency declarations. This allows for additional state resources to help local response. But in this room, all you see here?
This is through community partnerships.
Tierra Williams with the city says as the days keep ticking, the need expands. They just moved into this new community space.
There was a need in the community. It looks like people want a place to gather, especially in this time. Let's not be in isolation. Patience, because it may take a little bit longer than you think.
And she gives back and coordinates. She's not exempt because she too is without power when she gets home.
I sleep well at night because I know that I fed my community.
Now that sense.
Shout out to that sister. Shout out to everybody putting in work to help Gary. I heard that what's the brother name? Keith Lee, I think that's his name, and another basketball player got together and they was working together to get water and food to the people out there. So shout out to everybody coming together, beautiful, helping the community. This is disgraceful. This is disgraceful. Shout out to East Coast Kev for setting it off with the 5. Much appreciated, beloved. Yes, of course. I can't forget Hurricane Katrina. I was in Florida when Hurricane Katrina hit. I thought I was gonna die because the hurricane came. We got some of the blowback from that. I thought I was gonna die, bro. We was leaving Florida as the hurricane was hitting. Matter of fact, we was leaving Miami. We didn't get all the way out of Florida. I think we was in Miami when it hit. Or in Orlando. And then we tried to get out. Yeah. No, I think I was coming from Miami to Orlando. So while we was driving, so I thought I was gonna die. I was a little kid. I remember that. Some people been on Kanye bumper ever since he said that. George Bush don't care about black people. And they've been wanting to bring Kanye down ever since. And Kanye, being a bozo, opened the door for them to bring him down. Sad. Beyond sad. But yeah, let's keep this going.
Will stay open until Tuesday. That's when power is expected to be restored, but it will not shut down until everyone is out of the dark.
Shout out to every yeah, I'm so happy that people are, you know, standing on this issue. We got people right here bringing food. Let's check this out real quick. Shout out to Roland Martin.
Help is coming from all across the country for those in Northwest Indiana still impacted by last week's storms.
Yeah, Samai is on its way from Houston with.
Shout out to the brother coming from Houston. Also, shout out to HH for coming through with the $4.99. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated.
Aid and food. Gabriella Primus is there, checking out what kind of help is arriving. Hey, Gabby.
Hey, Terrence, we were just able to really showcase Operation Barbecue Relief that's set up outside of the Walmart on US 41 in Cherryville. This is kind of the site where they're doing all the cooking, and this is being distributed all over the place in Northwest Indiana, offering free hot meals to people who are in need. You never know, how much you're going to take for granted a hot meal until you're put in that position. Well, some of these hot meals are going with one special person, Houston rapper and humanitarian Trey the Truth, just showing up to Northwest Indiana to help folks around here. Trey, this isn't unfamiliar for you. You do this a lot wherever needs help around the country.
Yeah, I mean, in times like this, it's times that people really need hope, because you're dealing with all kind of problems on top of problems. So, they need people like us to be out here caring and just assisting, as much as we can.
What's your operation going to look like? I understand that you have a semi-truck that's on the way, and you just packed up this truck full of a bunch of hot meals.
Yeah, we're going to try and first off, shout out Operation Barbecue. We met during Harvey in Houston during a hurricane. And the crazy thing is now we've given out at least 100,000 meals together. But what happens now, whenever a disaster hit, either they
come out. Didn't Hurricane Harvey happen under happened under Joe Biden, didn't it? It either happened under Obama or Joe Biden, somebody. Or Trump. I forgot who it happened under. So I forgot the point I was going to make. But yeah, let's keep it going. Shout out to the bro for coming through from Houston. Shout out to everybody coming through from all over the country. Make sure you support these brothers and sisters any way you can. Also, I want to say this. Let me see. Oh, let me look at some of these. Let me look at some of these comments. I haven't been looking. Shout out to Naps in the building. Go subscribe to Naps channel. Halliburton. You talking about Bush? You know them when niggas in Iraq doing all that. Yes. Oh, shout out to Lorenzo Jackson in the building. Yes, our Puerto Rico situation is even worse. You think Trump definitely don't care about Puerto Rico? Remember when the last time a hurricane hit Puerto Rico or something like that? Trump was down there, didn't even come. And then when he did came, he's sitting here shooting rolls of paper towels. Shout out to the Black Adam. Yes, I see the brother is out here. He doing his thing. He doing his thing. Sam Carter. Oh, FBA ain't down there helping nobody because that's not what FBA do. FBA is going to sit around, make videos attacking the Democrats, attacking black immigrants, calling people punks, and claiming everything is a conspiracy theory, and none of that. And then when you point that out, they'll then turn and point to brothers like this and be like, FBA is doing stuff. See, don't you see Keith Leaf came out there and did something? So that counts as FBA doing something. But if you ask them, what are all the FBA claimants doing? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. This, where's Phil the Advised Show, the millionaire, Taco Phil, Felipe Scott? Like what's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Yeah, let's get back to this.
They call me, or I call them, what area you in? I'm going to be pulling up. So we've done Carolinas, Florida, Mississippi's, now Indiana. We do everything together. So the goal now is to give out at least a couple thousand meals a day while I'm here.
In addition to the hot meals, you also thought about some of the, everyday stuff that people are missing when the power's not on, when things are damaged to their home. What else are you planning to have in that 18-wheeler?
Well, right now when I leave here, I'm going through all the areas in Gary and surrounding areas. Shout out to Mayor Eddie. Him, the team out here, they embrace Reverend Boone. But doing that, we're going to go get chainsaws too, because, it's a lot of tree debris. So we'll be cutting trees. And then me and some of my partners from Matthew 25 Ministries, every time it's disasters, we get out here and get in the field. So we have an 18-wheeler coming full of supplies, cleaning products, clothes, blankets, probably batteries, a little bit of everything. Because right now, people have been without power for 9 days. So they lost everything.
Can I ask you this?
This is not. He's talking about 9 days. We at 2 weeks now. Oh, shout out to Remarkable Halliburton, the NBA player. It's the NBA player. Like I've been. Matter of fact, yeah, I think that's who. Let's keep it going.
I mean, having a successful music career and then now doing this on top of it, it sounds like you're pretty busy. What keeps you going?
To be honest, man, the craziest 4 things in life that excite me. First of all, God. Second, my kids. And third would be the music, and I love helping people. So when stuff like, I just found out about it. The crazy thing is not enough media is covering it. I found out about it yesterday, a couple hours before I decided to jump on a flight. So as soon as I found out, now I'm going to make sure I get the eyes out here so people can see us. A lot of people that need help, but I love doing it, man. The people need it.
So let me understand this, Trey. Not only are you bringing the hot meals, 1,000 hot meals, but also...
Yo, see, I'm not the only one. People are not finding out about this because no media is covering it. Media is not covering it. Media is not covering it. Media is not covering it at all. Like for real. Like this is getting ridiculous. And his name is Halliburton, right? I'm saying it right. Because I don't have my glasses, and that looks like Halliburton. Like the company that was in Iraq. Am I saying his name right? Let me know. Shout out to everybody in the building. Why he wasn't there? Why would he be there? He got YouTube videos to make. He ain't got time to be going to help no black people. He got videos to make attacking the Democrats and black immigrants. That's what he got to do. No, he ain't doing none of that. Why would any of these people do that? The Black Authority got black women to abuse. He don't got time to be traveling to Gary, Indiana. For what? He got black women to abuse. Oh, shout out to the hood mistress in the building. I know that. And I said stuff like this was going to start happening, just like with the Mississippi. How many lynched black people have they found in Mississippi so far this year? I mean, in the last 6 months? Not even 6 months, last 18 months. No media coverage. None. Like, at least if a Democrat was in office, they would cover it and be like, well, it was a suicide. We ain't even getting that.
So some of those other supplies, everyday things like cleaning supplies, say, it sounds like toiletries.
Full of that stuff, yeah.
And you're helping outside. You're actually getting to work with the chainsaws?
Oh, yeah. And it's crazy. People laugh, right? Because I'm a rapper. I never knew how to cut a tree, but we learned in the midst of having to do it right then and there. So it's another thing we love to do. We love to just work,
Okay, so your next stop is going to be meeting with Mayor Gary.
Yeah, Mayor Eddie, and then I'll be picking a couple areas to do this because they know when I come out with this, literally I'm going to call them back. So they probably already trying to prep to get me more meals. So we're going to get out here and just do what needs to be done, man. Cut trees and just really love on the people. I think that's what they need the most right now because it's a horrible feeling to feel forgotten.
Yeah, just so people can follow, you know, your operation, your journey. Is there some social media pages maybe that they can catch you on?
The main social media page I use is my Instagram, which is Trae ABN, TRAE ABN, and you know, I always show them real life of what I'm doing daily, so they definitely can follow it. And I encourage people, man, even if you're not able to donate financially, food, anything. Sometimes you could just come out there and just help the people, or just manpower. You know, everything counts.
Right, Trae, the truth. Thank you so much for letting us, you know, step in and talk to you as you're doing this awesome stuff. Good luck to you, and I know that people in Northwest Indiana are going to appreciate it. If you're interested in this Operation Barbecue Relief, more information, they said they're always looking for more volunteers. Plus, at noon here at the Walmart on US 41 in Cherryville, they're going to be opening up, you know,
Come on up, everybody. Come on. Here you go. Hope y'all enjoy the day. Y'all just go right over that way. Come on up. Come on up. Hi, how you doing? What's going? You can just go right now.
Oh, dag, the audio cut out. Shout out to the visionary for letting me know that the audio cut out. I was just saying that, like, shout out to the bro, Trae the Truth for coming through. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton for coming through. Shout out to Kevin Lee for coming through. Shout out to everybody who came through, like regular people donating, supporting our brothers and sisters in Gary, Indiana. Much appreciated. Like, come on. Like, they need the support. And shout out to the visionary again for letting me know that the audio cut out, because I did not see that.
This event means hope. It means togetherness, and we appreciate all that, the food and the cooking, but we need NIPSCO. We still got to go back to our homes in the black, in the dark, with no electricity, with our basements flooded. We still got to go back. So you feed us for a minute, you give us a little something. We need more than that. Oh, I need some of this. Right here. Jan, where you at? Grab this. Right there. Yeah. Go. Oh, I said if I can get this. Yeah, thank you. Can I get this? You want that? Yeah.
Whoa, survival mode, you know, no lights. Everything that I had in the fridge is gone, spoiled.
Couldn't get gas. You had nowhere to go eat. The lights is out on the streets. It's pitch black. It looks really scary and dark. You got trees on the roads that we haven't gotten up yet, and people can't even pass them. And it's sad to leave a city like this.
It's like they're trying to kill us all, really, you ask me. And it don't make no sense. We should be a disaster area, you know? It's like, oh, they normal, they can have whatever.
And I do desperately believe that people who need to know about this in the government, and they purposely ignoring it because it's a black area, and it's like, well, leave them to die. Shout out to Senora for the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. You already know that's coming. You know I'm gonna expose that bozo again, like I always do. Shout out to Future in the building. Exactly. Of course he is. Like I said, Keith Leaf is doing more for the community than the whole new black media combined, times 20 million. They ain't doing a damn thing. They ain't doing a damn thing. They ain't doing a damn thing. Can't make this up. They ain't doing a damn thing. Oh, shout out to McKinsley in the building. Peace. Let's get back to this.
got to think about Gary is predominantly black, and look how they treating us. It's terrible out here, man. It's terrible, and it shouldn't even be this way in 2026, man. 2026 is still like this, and it's terrible, man. It's terrible. I feel bad, to be honest with you, man. Oh, for sure. Lowe's price gouging, Home Depot price gouging, and the time of need, they with the generators on a normal day, you go get a generator for like $400-500. They want to charge you $1,000 for a generator. Let alone the gas that you got to put in there, $20-30 every single day.
Price gouging. Isn't price gouging supposed to be illegal throughout the whole country? Isn't it supposed to be illegal throughout the whole country? You can't make this up, man. Can't make this up. Can't. I don't know if they got beef with them. They probably do. They probably do. They probably do. Shout out RBG for the win in the building. They sitting around hanging on Trump nuts and, you know, doing all the other stuff. Attacking black immigrants, talking about somebody fled while ignoring their people here. Who knows where Yvette Carnell is at? Shout out to AZ in the building. Salute. Yeah, let's get back to this.
Because one thing about us as black people, we will adapt to any situation. It might be hard from the beginning, but we will adapt. And we've been without power for like the last 10 days now. And as you can see, I'm out grilling. You know what I'm saying? It's been like this, but we also do have a generator. But like for the last 10 days, we've really been out power, and it's really been bad, very inconvenient for us. But, you know, one thing about us, we're going to adapt to any situation, you know. I'm slowly but surely. And these are all the things that people take for granted. The basic things as far as like power, taking a shower, flushing your toilet, anything of that nature like that. So we really under siege, and I hope they just take care of the situation. Thank you.
I'm happy they trying to make the best of this, because this is ridiculous. Shout out to Justin March, my first moderator, for coming through. He just gifted 20 memberships. Family, if Justin March gifted you a membership, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Like, this is hard to put in. I can't even like think about, like, if you told me 10 years ago, not even 10 years ago, 10 years ago is too short. If you'd have told me 12 years ago that something like this could happen in America, I wouldn't have been jacked. I would have jacked it, because again, I remember Hurricane Katrina. But as far as not getting no media coverage to the point where people don't even know that it's happening, oh nah, I'm not jacked. I couldn't have seen it. And family, also make sure y'all thank Justin March if he gifted you a membership. And make sure y'all saluting everybody who's contributing to this stream, man. Make sure y'all doing that, man. Much appreciated. And make sure y'all hitting the like button.
The power went out on the 11th of August. Was about 10:30 that morning when the storm came through, and haven't been back on since. We've been in the dark ever since. And the storm took down trees, branches, um, trees fell on cars and all, and on the house and all down the street there. That's a big tree. It's sitting in a yard that done fell down and stuff. So it's just been rough around here. They say we probably won't have no power back on until about the 12th of September.
Oh, I think we saw this one already. This is ridiculous. But I don't think we saw all of this. But yeah, we're gonna let the sister keep talking. Like, oh my God. I just, my heart hurt for these people. I couldn't imagine going through this. The only time I went through something similar like this was when I was in New York. Like, I personally went through it as an adult, and I could realize how bad things was, because I've been through stuff like this before. But as an adult, was the freak storm Sandy in New York. That was crazy. That was crazy. Shout out to East Coast Kev for the double up, coming through with the 10. Yeah, you already knew that was going to happen. And there's no way to blame Democrats for this. There's no way to clout chase and blame black immigrants. The only way Tariq would have made a video about this if the mayor of Gary, Indiana was Nigerian or something. That's the only way. Or like the governor of the state of Indiana was Jamaican or something. That's the only way. That's the only way he would have made a video about this. Only way.
And that is too long for anybody to be without power. And all the stores and everything is closed up around here with no, food and stuff. So, I don't know. All we can do is pray that we get it on.
On August 11th, a massive storm system knocked out power across much of Northwest Indiana. Nearly 2 weeks later, thousands of Hoosiers in cities like Gary and Portage are still living without power. My name is Sophie Hartley. I'm an environment reporter at the Indianapolis Star, and I've been on the ground today with photographer Michael Clubb from the South Bend Tribune, interviewing residents and hearing their stories. Here's what they had to say.
It's difficult. Some things that when you think about food and the basic necessities and not able to have those or be able to go to them when you need them, it's rough, yeah. Out in the unincorporated area now, they're dealing with sewage back up. So the pumps are not on. So you look at the things that we take for granted, flushing the toilet. So, and now they have raw sewage backing up in home, backing up in the backyard and things of that nature there.
I said, I can't afford a generator. I'm barely affording when I'm staying in my house, but you know what I'm saying? I already had got little groceries and then the little money I had just to, carry over through the month. And I had to spend that. Now I'm down to what, $13 now?
Until when?
Until next month come around.
People were telling me they had to go to Kentucky, had to go to Ohio, different places just to buy a generator because they didn't get hit. So they had generators or whatever.
But, I'm more concerned, not even about me, to be honest.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Traveling like that. I couldn't imagine getting in the car and driving away, knowing my family is somewhere is in Gary, and their phone probably is going to die and shut off because there's no way to charge their phone. So about the time I get to Kentucky, get the generator and drive back, I know I have not talked to nobody for hours. Couldn't imagine it. Shout out to Boycott Activision for coming through with the 5. Yes, all this happened under they savior. And that's why they ain't got nothing to say about it. The same way where you had that situation with the aircraft carrier with Lincoln, the Lincoln aircraft carrier, and nobody in America got nothing to say about it. And if anything, they're attacking the people for speaking out against it. That's all you're gonna see. That's all. That's all. Shout out to Boycott Activision. Make sure y'all saluting everybody's coming through supporting the stream, man.
With you, my neighbor. She's a loner, no husband, no kids. Well, a daughter. She needs more support than I do. She's about 80-something years old. So what are they gonna do for her?
It's been very difficult. I live next door in the parsonage. I'm here every night, pitch back. They're breaking in and stealing. And so I'm here in a hot house, no electricity. Today we took 100 dinners up to the nursing home right up the street and gave and served care packages and free food, good food, soul food.
Power has been coming back on across the region in increments, and the local electric company NIPSCO told residents in Gary that they should start being able to turn their lights back on this week. But some of the people that we talked to today on the ground said they'll believe it when they see it.
Yeah, but also, well, it's always.
Mind you, this is 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later in the United States of America, 2 weeks later, a place like Gary, Indiana, got no power still. You can't make this up. Shout out to Justin Marsh for coming through with the 2. You already know, prayers for the people of Gary, Indiana. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns too. Thank you. Thank you for that double up of support. Shout out to Bam in the building. Yeah, these people straight up, quote unquote, FBA. So where's all the FBA delineators who take care of black people so much and love black people so much? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Inquiring minds want to know. Yes, Sandy was wild. It was wild. Whew. That's why I always refer to it as the freak storm, freaker storm, because that's what they was calling it, because it was like a freak storm. It wasn't just a regular hurricane. But yeah, let's keep it going.
We'll have it on for you Tuesday, or we'll have it on for you Saturday. We'll have it on for you Monday, you know. So now they say Tuesday, and if not Tuesday, September 1st.
Really, they're trying to get everything off the line so they can pull the lines together and restore everything. So they don't have a time frame on exactly how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know, so I said, one guy said maybe, I only can guess, maybe 2 weeks, you know, so we almost into the 2 weeks deadline now, you know. And I said, well, that's as long as we ever been out, you know, on power. But look at all the food I had to throw away. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because now I'm hearing reports that they might stuff might not come back on fully. The area might not be up and fully up and running until September 12th. That's insane. September 12th. This storm hit on August 11th. August 11th. He's too busy cooking up another how black immigrants are bad and how Democrats are bad video. Yes, 47 has been an unmitigated disaster. Unmitigated. This is disgusting. Peace, Marco Brolo. Peace. Yes, that's why I said Puerto Rico's even in a worse situation. Worse. Puerto Rico's in an even worse situation. Like Trump, I don't want to ever hear anybody try to justify. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna go that far. But Trump is the worst president in American history. He was already the worst president in American history at 45. Now at 47, he outdid himself. As of right now, if Trump was to leave office one way or another, right now tonight, he goes down in history as the worst president in American history. Worse. Yeah, he did. Like I said, yeah, he did Puerto Rico bad too. When he was 45, shooting the whole what he was doing, like he was shooting like paper towels at people. He did the Virgin Islands bad too. He's so stupid. He didn't even know the Virgin Islands was a part of the United States of America. He asked why they ain't doing nothing about it. Like he said that. Like you can't make this up. Dang, why I keep? Yeah, you can't make this up. Thought I had my phone on mute. I keep forgetting turning it down. Don't automatically put it on mute like it used to. Yeah, like this is ridiculous. But speaking of priorities, this is a video I wanted to cover from Tariq Nasheed before. When all this was going on, I was waiting to see whether he's going to talk about stuff going on with black cities. He did talk about something going on with a black city, but look what he decided to talk about.
as he calls out the Democratic Party leaders for removing Atlanta from the list of cities to host the DNC in 2028.
In a letter obtained by Fox 5, Dickens said, quote, the DNC continues to make the wrong choices. Fox 5's Eric Perry has been on this story. He joins us live now with more on that response. Eric?
Yeah, the mayor is not holding back. He is accusing the DNC of not paying attention and abandoning not just the South, but he says black voters as well. He says that the DNC doesn't care about Georgia in the past, the present, or the future. The smiles from this April press conference are all but gone as Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens learns Atlanta did not make the final three for cities to host the Democratic National Convention. In a letter obtained by Fox 5, Dickens addresses Atlanta, the South, and all Democrats, saying the DNC continues to make the wrong choices. He goes on to say this decision could not have been based on Atlanta's ability to host major events. He's citing the successful World Cup and State Farm being a successful arena in the country.
Now, family, first thing I want to talk about before we get caught.
As y'all see right there, you saw it, right? Tariq is making sure to talk about the Democratic Party now, right? He's making sure to cover a black city now. Nothing about Gary, Indiana, because if you talk about that, you got to attack Trump. But he wants to talk about what's going on in Atlanta. Shout out to Media Dreams 99 for coming through with the 199. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Also, wait, time out. I think somebody hit me on the Cash App. Family, remember, you could hit me on the Cash App. All right, for a shout out from US. Let me see. I don't know if the person who hit me on the Cash App wants to or want me to say their name, because I just read the message. I just read it fully. Yes, you know, I'm always going to shout out the Virgin Islands. I'm always going to shout out the Virgin Islands. You know, I'm always going to put on for my people, my black people, wherever they may be. So I didn't forget about the Virgin Islands. I remember how Trump did the Virgin Islands. I remember, of course. Thank you again. Drop a comment if you want me to shout you out by name, though. But yeah, thank you for that, for shouting out the Virgin Islands. I appreciate it. Thank you. Much appreciated. Did I shout out Media Dreams 99? Yeah, I shouted at you out too. Yeah, and Lady Boule ain't nowhere to be found because, again, they can't attack black immigrants. So why would they even cover this issue? But I want to say this. This just proves what I was talking about and how correct and how right I am. I told people, I said, if Kamala Harris loses the election, that is it for black political power. That's like that's pretty much a non-survivable gunshot wound for the foreseeable future. I explained this to people. I said if she loses, it's gonna put black people in a two-front war. A war against MAGA and a war against the lefties. And the lefties are going to be taking over the Democratic Party, which they are doing successfully. And the lefties are black people's enemy. A lot of them, they are enemy because they class reductionists. A lot of them are enemy because they Nazbuls. But whatever the reason, they are enemy. They think social issues, which are our issues, are no big deal. They think identity politics is something bad. They think by putting forth people like Graham Plattner to try to reach out to racist white people to bring them back into the fold of the Democratic Party is a good idea. And you know what? They're winning. Sad to say that they're winning. Shout out to HH for the double up with the $9.99. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all showing love to the people who showing love to the stream. They're winning. They are winning. This is why it's not going. The convention is not going to be in Atlanta. This is why right now that they did get them to agree to start the primary in South Carolina, but it's going to go from South Carolina to Nevada, and it's going to go through a bunch of white areas. Remember, the reason that black people had the power we got is because it starts in South Carolina and it runs through the South, giving the black candidate of choice basically an insurmountable lead. Just merely starting in South Carolina and immediately going to a bunch of Latino and white areas don't do nothing for black people. That put us in so it's like, this is just it. And this is what I said it was going to happen. I said this, I kept telling people, I don't care if you don't like Kamala. That's our power. She loses, it's black people losing. There is no other way around it. Because if she lose, that'll be the second time that they'll say the black candidate of choice that black people pushed through that nobody wanted got into the general, and then black people abandoned them and they lost, which would cause an immediate shift in strategy. And I can't even say they wrong to shift strategies. It makes all the sense in the world to shift strategies. How many times we gonna keep betting on black and losing? How many times? How many times? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. 160 years worth of struggle and progress up in smoke because people couldn't be bothered to vote in one election against a degenerate like Donald Trump. Exactly, Rob. He was asking why don't he wanted to talk to the president, and why don't the Virgin Islands take care of themselves? Why does America gotta save everybody country? Nonsense. But yeah, let's see what this bozo got to say.
We'll get calls shortly, and remember to get in the request queue and then raise your hand if you want to get on. If you want to get your call on and talk live, raise your hand and get in the request queue. But what I do want to talk about, in Atlanta, did y'all see the Atlanta mayor, Mr. Andre Dickens? He's very upset with the DNC. He's upset with the Democrat National Committee because Atlanta was eliminated from consideration to host that 2028 Democrat National Convention. So he's ticked off. Oh, he was like, oh, why are y'all abandoning the black voters? He was kind of upset about it. Where my Atlanta people? Where my Atlanta people? Now, the DNC, they narrowed their finalists down to Boston, Denver, and Philadelphia. So now there is no southern city remaining in the contention.
Which makes all the sense in the world because again, like I said before, I said if Trump wins, that's going to eliminate black political power. Like we going back to the civil rights era. Remember, why would they start the convention in the South when the Democrats officially have no power in the South at all? It would make no sense. It would be like Republicans starting their convention in New England. That would make no sense. New England can't do nothing for the Republicans when it comes to the general election. So why should they have the choice of starting it off or popping it off, or what we all have say about where we should go? Where should the party go? That makes no sense. Am I making sense? Why would they start it off in the South when we know now the Congressional Black Caucus is basically, a third of it is basically going to be gone. They have redistricted the South to pretty much there's going to be no Democrat seats in the South. And they did that to eliminate black political power, not even Democrat political power, black political power. So why would they start it there? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And yes, they are abandoning the people. They are abandoning black people because they kept losing with black people. They kept losing. Like, it hurt me to say that makes sense. What they doing makes sense. It hurt me to say that.
And the DNC, they didn't explain why. They didn't say why Atlanta was cut. And Dickens basically said the decision, it sends a very bad political message. And he wrote an open letter to the DNC chairman, Ken Martin. He accused the DNC leadership of retreating into political safe spaces instead of fighting for voters in competitive territory. He said the party.
Nobody want to do that, man. Nobody want to keep fight. Nobody want to keep fighting for voters like that. That whole nonsense. That's another thing I kept saying. We got the power. We don't want to alter the we got the equation has us at the top. We are in the driver's seat. We are winning. If we do things the way we wanted, we get to do things the way we wanted to do it. We get to do things. Like, I'm so upset I can hardly even speak, that I'm literally watching the collapse of Black political power in real time. The power that it took 160 years to get. You know how many Black people died for this power that we just gave away? I could barely speak. Shout out to Go Zebo Row. I think that's your name. Go Zebo Row. For the 199. Whole lot of ones be the whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Of course, they accused Kamala of that. Of course they did. But look at where we here now. We are here now. We are here now. Like how do we get here? How do we let ourselves get here? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Leaders were abandoning Atlanta and abandoning the South, and once again abandoning Black voters. And his argument was that Georgia and Atlanta, they repeatedly demonstrated their importance to the Democratic Party. Because Georgia...
Yes, demonstrating your importance and failing to follow through on that importance. Remember, Georgia should have a Democratic mayor, a Black Democratic mayor, which it does not, because the voters of Georgia didn't come through. They came through the first time. I'll give you that. That first election was stolen, and Stacey Abrams did not make a big enough fuss for me when they stole that election from her. But they didn't come through the second time, nor did they come through for Kamala. They did not come through. Kamala should have won Georgia easy, but she didn't. So why would they start it in Georgia? Yes, y'all would be super powerful and super relevant. Y'all could do great things for the DNC, but if you're not doing it, how long people supposed to rely on potential, what you could do? When we watching people show what they could do, and then they actually doing it, they actually executing. Like, they getting results. All these lefty candidates you seeing winning, they winning primaries, they winning generals, they winning at pretty much every level. They getting results. They got the hot hand right now. It would make no sense to go with the side that keep letting you down. And keep trying to justify why they should be in a position of power because of the potential they bring. Again, this hurt me to say this because I'm Black. I said something. Shout out to Percy in the building. I said governor, right? Or I said mayor. I don't even know what I'm saying now. I meant governor. I'm so hot. Like, I can't even get through the segment. I'm so hot. Like we literally watching this in real time. We watching this in real time. My fault. I meant to say Black governor. Black governor, not Black mayor. Black governor. Black governor of Georgia. Black governor of Georgia. Forgive me, y'all. I haven't streamed in a while. I was already going through stuff, and then this situation is just frying minds. Shout out to McKinsley in the building. Yes, the legacy is gone. Like, we in a new era. Like 2020. I would say 2029 is gonna officially represent a new era for Black people in America. An unprecedented new era that we are not equipped to deal with, and we put ourselves in it. Lord have mercy. Shout out to everybody supporting the stream. Make sure y'all getting the likes up too. Make sure y'all hitting that reaction heart. Make sure y'all drop in comments, fire emojis. I take it all. A whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. That's in the pinned comment. Yeah, let's keep it going.
Became a presidential battleground, and a lot of the black voters in Metro Atlanta, they've been just critical to a lot of Democratic victories. And he said that them not even putting Atlanta on the final short.
Look at this. This bozo Tariq can't doesn't even know what he's talking about. What are these victories? They pushing Atlanta to the side. They pushing Georgia to the side because they didn't produce no victories. And they could have produced victories. That's why. They produced 2 victories. Technically 3, but that's it. They lost, but they lost big when they didn't have to lose big. Nobody wants to play with the person that's sometime good, sometime bad. Sometime he show up, sometime he don't show up. Sometime he playing like Jordan, sometime he playing like he don't even deserve to be in the G League. Nobody got time for that. Lives is on the line.
List, the DNC, they're effectively signaling that it doesn't consider Atlanta or Georgia important to the party's past, present, or future. So he had a lot to say about him. And he directly challenged DNC Chairman Ken Martin's previous rhetoric about Democrats needing to compete in the South. And Dickens basically said, how can you keep saying that the road back to the White House runs through the South while simultaneously refusing to put your biggest political convention anywhere in the South?
Because they not talking about black people. See, this is the thing. When the Democrats are now, all these lefties and all these other new people in position of power talking about competing in the South, they're talking about competing for racist white votes. Because the way that the redistricting worked, the black vote is basically worthless. So if you want to win in the South, you got to get white people to vote for you in the South. A lot of those white people in the South that you got to compete for over are racist white people. This is, again, why the lefty is our enemy. Those are the people they wanted to compete for all along. Those are the people we didn't even need. That's who they want. When they talking about competing for people in the South, they're not talking about black people. The way the redistricting happened because of this, because of the ruling by the Supreme Court, black people can't move or deny nothing. They can't move or shake nothing. Like you can't just win something because you have black people behind you. Those days in the South is completely over. And putting a DNC convention in Atlanta is basically catering to the old ways. Nobody's doing the old ways. This is what I kept telling people. I said, we're going to see that y'all keep bragging about how important black people are to the Democratic Party. And I'm like, do y'all not get it? That's because of the equation that they had together. Now there's going to be a new equation. There's going to be a new formula that they're coming up to win with. And black support is not so important to it. Shout out to Tony Barron's in the building. It's gonna look crazy. Because one, Trump is gonna officially be out of office if he doesn't die in office or whatever the case may be. We know if Trump doesn't do some type of coup or something, we know a Democrat is gonna win. Only thing that matters is who's going to win the Democratic primary. That's it. Is it going to be a lefty candidate or is it going to be a liberal candidate? That's the only thing that matters. Because whoever wins the Democratic primary is going to win the general. So if everything goes like it's supposed to, we'll have a Democratic president, most likely one who leans heavily to the left or is a lefty himself or just presents as a lefty, or whatever the case may be, or somebody like Gavin Newsom. They're going to win, and they're going to either win. They're going to win with or without black people, and then they're going to and it's just downhill from there. Downhill from there for black people. Downhill from there. Downhill. That's how it's going to look. Downhill. Downhill from there. Watch. You're going to start seeing it more and more and more. Right now, we in like the avalanche stage. It's like if you watch the Avalanche or the movie Milan, when they shot the thing, it hit and nothing happened. And then they felt the rumbling. Then they heard it. And then they saw the snow coming. And then the snow buried everybody. Well, we in that stage right now where we starting to feel the rumbling. We're starting to feel the rumbling. Like by 2029, the avalanche will have completely ran its course, which is crazy. Shout out to HH for becoming a new member of the channel. Salute. Family, if you want to become a member of the channel yourself, make sure you go hit that join button. Hit that join button. Hit that join button.
So he also argued that Atlanta clearly has the infrastructure to handle the convention. The city has the world's busiest airport, tens of thousands of hotel rooms, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, major convention infrastructure. They got experience in hosting massive national and international events like the Olympics and the World Cup and all that stuff. So they said Atlanta officials even authorized up to $36 million in hotel tax revenue to help financially support the convention bid. And they were like, nah, we good. So you know what it is to me, and this is my conjecture. I think the Democrats don't want to be perpetually dependent on the black vote. You know what I'm saying? For a long time, black people, we've been the most dependable voting bloc for the DNC coalition. But that creates a political problem for the Democrat Party. The more dependent the party becomes on black voters, the more leverage black voters potentially have. Now we're starting to say, hey, I'm gonna need to hold something. You see? See, sooner or later, people are gonna be like, okay, if you need our votes this badly, what are we specifically getting in return? You see, and in 2024, black voters still overwhelmingly supported the Democrat ticket, but Democrat margins, they slipped. You see?
See, Tariq is doing the same. I'm going to address the last part first. Tariq was one of these people who was celebrating and saying that black people made the Democrats lose, but he won't say that now because now people are starting to assign blame to people who was promoting don't vote. So now he doesn't want to say, well, we made them lose. We did our part. We came out and voted heavily, which is cap, which is a lie. But anyway, Tariq, this is why your whole strategy was stupid. If you know the Democrats need black power because black people are so powerful inside the Democratic Party, wouldn't it make sense for black people to put forth their own candidates and win like that instead of making the Democratic Party lose? And now they got to reevaluate, why do they even need black people? So let's go figure out a way to win without black people. What makes more sense? What makes more sense? Black people, we got a formula, a winning formula. Nobody can beat it. All right. We want things. So how about we organize and ask for those things? How about we run our own candidates? How about we do that and use that all that political infrastructure, all that political capital that we built up? Let's use that to put forth our own agenda. This is our time. We got more political power than we ever did in the history of this nation. Now it's time to use it. What was y'all response to that? Let's squander it by not voting and making sure the black candidate of choice loses. And let a racist get into office. And when people pointed out how racist Trump is and how bad it was going to be for black people, y'all said y'all didn't care because black people survived slavery. So what does it matter? Black people survived Jim Crow. So what does it matter if we go back to Jim Crow? Y'all said that. Y'all said that. And now those chickens have come home to roost. Y'all thought it was so cute. Talking about, oh, the Democrats need us to win, so we'll just make them lose. Ha, 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 we made you lose. Now what? You made them lose. Guess what? The Democratic Party still exists. And now look what they're doing. They're moving on. And all people could do is try to shame them for what we used to do for them or the things we have done for them in the past. And they're not paying no attention to it. They moving on. Now what? Now what do we do? Now that they moving on and we can't go to the Republican Party, now what do we do? Now, what do we do? Like I told people before, we have hit the point of no return and we have no path forward. There's no path forward.
So the Democrats have two problems at the same time. They can't afford to lose the black vote, but they don't want to be so dependent on the black vote that black American can start we can start naming a political price for.
That's a lie. They don't have two problems. They already moving, like I said, because this is the problem. Tariq keep talking about the Democratic Party like it's a monolith. The Republican Party is a monolith. It's just MAGA. Because if you're not MAGA, you're not even in the Republican Party anymore. There's a whole bunch of establishment Republicans who are basically claiming independent or trying to get down with the Democratic Party now. It's a monolith. It's only MAGA. The Democratic Party is the Big Tent Party. There's a bunch of different factions, groups, wings, all that inside the Democratic Party. For one reason or another, did not want to see black people with that power. And now that black people have taken themselves out of that driver's seat, the lefties have jumped into it. They don't have that problem. They need black votes to win. They already put together their formula to how to win without getting masses and masses of black people with on their side through the primary, and then having black people come back to help support them in the general. They already got their formula, and it's working. It's working. And they created a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if black people don't support their candidate who they get through the general, then they're gonna use that as justification to go further away from black people. And if black people do support them, they're gonna say, see, we don't even need to talk to these people because they're gonna just vote for us regardless. They created basically a win-win scenario for themselves. Yeah, we the ones who are in the two-front war right now with an insurgency like you, Tariq, running now. So we fighting a two-front war and an insurgency. You and your whole FBA bozo movement, y'all are a fifth column. Y'all useful idiots for the lefties. Y'all a fifth column for MAGA. A fifth column.
Our support. So now they want to do some coalition diversification. This is why they want to go up to some of these other cities, Colorado, and that's Latinos. They're trying to pander. Go up there to the north, Boston and Philly, where some of these immigrants are, so they can kind of pander to them a little bit more. I love TikTok Shop. I got to watch what TikTok Shop. You got to be you got to be careful, because when you start talking about some of these political strategies, they'll start dinging you. But look, Atlanta, that would have put the DNC directly in the face of black political accountability. See, Atlanta is not just another convention city. Atlanta, it sits right in the middle of one of the most politically organized black populations in America. It has its black political institutions, black media, HBCUs, black churches, black business, grassroots organizations, the whole shebang. Generations of black political infrastructure. So them bringing the Democrat National Convention to Atlanta, you're going to bring the entire Democrat establishment down into an environment where black voters can confront that ass. Because right now, the black grassroots, because of this FBA delineation that's been popping off, now when the Democrats show up, people are popping up like, hey, DNC, what's up with them reparations?
Mind you, you're popping up on a DNC for reparations while Trump is in office, and he said black people don't deserve reparations because slavery was legal, and he is currently working with Ed Blum to make sure reparations become illegal in America. That not reparations in general, reparations for black people become illegal. Specifically for black people, reparations become illegal, and it's a good chance it's going to happen. Remember, the Supreme Court is 6-3 conservative. How did it get 6-3 conservative? Because Trump won his first term. 6-3 conservative. All it takes is for 5 of those 6 to say, yeah, I agree. Reparations should be illegal for black people, which they most likely going to do. And guess what? Reparations is a dead issue officially, to the point where it makes no sense to even say the word. Where you're going to have a bunch of bozos sitting around crying about how other groups got reparations. And in 2029, you're going to see people getting people pushing for reparations for all the people who got hurt under the Trump administration, just like they did under the first one. And the only thing you're going to have these FBA bozos or whatever they have morphed into in 2029 crying about, well, if we can't get it, then nobody should get it. That's all they're going to be doing. That's all they're going to be doing. Shout out to your tech homeboy for the $199. Much appreciated. You just helped me get halfway to my goal. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you for the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Yes, Tariq he's totally an agent of those people. Totally an agent. What happens is about in 2029, it will be a Democratic. Most likely, if everything works out the way it is, like Trump doesn't pull a coup or something like that, there's going to be a Democrat elected as president, and it's going to be a Democrat who's most likely going to be a lefty or the candidate of choice for the lefties if he's not actually a lefty, like Gavin Newsom. And when that happens, it's going to be it's going to be obvious to a duck that black people have pretty much lost all their political power at the federal level. Damn near all of it. Damn near all of it. It's going to be obvious to a duck. It's going to be obvious to a duck. Yep, I love TikTok Shop. LOL.
You see, the DNC keeps getting pulled up on, and they know they go down to Atlanta, the pull-up is going to be heavy. With all of them down there, they don't know what's going to happen. It's already getting hot for like Kamala. She show up in the FBA grassroots and say, hey, Kamala, what's happening with them tangibles? You see? They see what's going on. Everywhere the DNC shows up, the Democrat candidates show up, we're there asking questions about them damn tangibles. What's up with them reparations? In Texas, what up with them reparations? Chicago, what's up with them reparations? Brandon Johnson, what's up with it? So they know Atlanta, boy, they're going to be on the hot seat. Yo, they don't want them problems. Oh, they don't want them problems. And the thing is, Atlanta mayor, the mayor there, Andre Dickens, he said the quiet part out loud. He said and accused the DNC of abandoning black voters.
That's not the quiet part out loud. Everybody knows what's happening. This has been happening since Kamala lost. This is not something new that just happened. Like anybody who's been paying attention to politics, you've been seeing the dismantling of a black political power. We've been watching it this whole time. This whole time. Like this is like he didn't say the quiet part out loud. This is what it is. This is what it is. And people like you help bring that about, Tariq. You are a fifth column. You are a Judas goat. You are a disgusting bozo. You need to be a part of Black history. Like people need to have teachings. Like Tariq needs to be a part of Black history. I'm convinced these bozos need to be a part of Black history. They don't need to be able to fade to black when this is all said and done and go grift to something else. And we act like we don't even remember their names. No, we need to show them as an example of what to look out for and all the damage a bozo can cause, can help cause. Because it wasn't just Tariq, but it again.
You see, he questioned how could Atlanta be somehow inadequate when the city handles massive international events? We can host this event. Why are you abandoning the constituents? See, you tell black people they're the backbone of the party. You invoke civil rights history. You invoke Georgia when you want to talk about saving democracy. But when it's time to put on the biggest political spectacle in America, Atlanta becomes expendable. So he feels a certain way about it. And again, up in Philadelphia, you got places where they got very strong unions up there. And they want to kind of pander to some of those union votes. They want to try to create a little voting block with some of those unions and things like that. So they're trying to pander to some of these other people. And again, they're trying to get some of them immigration votes. But also the DNC probably feels like, look, we got Atlanta locked down already. We ain't got to go down there and get on the hot seat. You know, we got the black folks, enough black folks on lock. We just send some catfish nuggets down there and some collard greens, and we'll get enough black votes. That's how they feel about it. And we got a lot of immigrants down there, and people are mixing in and marrying in with some of those immigrants down there. So yeah, we can.
Now he's making it the immigrants' fault, where he's saying, well, the reason why the DNC feels so comfortable abandoning us because they going to create a new political alliance, and they feel like they got enough black people in the South to that they could still win, because you got all those immigrants going down there and they mixing in with the people. Who's mixing in? Which immigrants are going down there mixing in? You're not talking about Mexicans. You're not talking about Arabs. You're talking about black immigrants. So you already laying the groundwork, blaming black immigrants for why the DNC is abandoning black people, or feel like they don't need to quote unquote pander to black people anymore. They don't need to pander to FBA no more, because they got enough black immigrants in the South where they gonna come out and vote and help the DNC win. So it's the black immigrants' fault that the DNC is abandoning black people and being able to win without black people, and don't have to give us no tangibles or no reparations. See, it's the black immigrants. If we didn't have all these black immigrants around voting for the DNC, we wouldn't have to worry about this. We would be able to. They wouldn't have tried this. They wouldn't have tried this. They would know they can't win without us, so they would have to give us tangibles. See, so now we don't get tangibles. Now we don't get reparations. It's those black immigrants' fault. It's the black immigrants' fault. Look, I'm gonna bring that back.
We got the black folks, enough black folks on lock. We just send some catfish nuggets down there and some collard greens, and we'll get enough black votes. That's how they feel about it. And we got a lot of immigrants down there, and people are mixing in and marrying in with some of those immigrants down there. So yeah, we can. We think we'll be good as far as Atlanta. We still think they'll carry us.
See, it's the black. See, the black immigrants are moving down south to Atlanta, and they marrying FBAs. So it's enough of them that even though they abandoning the black people, they can still win, because they're going to create all these other coalitions, and they can still carry these other black areas with ignoring FBA, because the black immigrants and the people who marry them and the people who are part of the DNC, the black people who are part of the DNC, are going to come out and vote, and that's going to be enough. So again, I know Tariq has been listening to me, because I said that before. Also, I said that they're going their new strategy is to build a coalition with other groups and build the strategy, build that coalition up so good, that new coalition they want to put together, build it up so good. And if they get, they could just, all they got to do is get enough black people to also come out and vote in the general, and they'll win. Because I already said that. I said they don't need to have Obama numbers anymore. They just need enough black people. They don't need you to come out nothing crazy. Just the regular black numbers, and then they're gonna win. So now when the regular black numbers come out, it's gonna be, see, I told you, those are the Democratic shills, those are the black immigrants and the people who marry them. See, because not only is he attacking black Democrats, black card carrying Democrats, not only is he attacking black immigrants, he's now attacking quote unquote FBAs who are in relationships with black immigrants, saying they're committing treason. They're marrying those people and they're supporting their agendas. That's what he's saying right now. This is why I always kept telling people, this is what they always taught. They just tried to move back from it because they caught too much heat, but they still always believe that. And now they're trying to give it to you in doses, because that's what he's saying right now. That's exactly what he's saying. Those are the enemy. The black people who work for the Democratic Party, the black immigrants, and the quote unquote FBAs who are in relationships with the black immigrants. Because he's trying to say, like, well, the rest of us FBAs, we ain't dealing with the Democratic Party like that no more. So if they get enough black votes in this area, it's because of those three groups. It's because of those three groups.
And also Atlanta, you know, there's like damn near 200,000 LGBT adults.
Oh, I forgot to mention that part. Because you know, like I said, he got to blame the Democratic Party, Pan-Africanists, black immigrants, and the LGBTQ community, even though the majority of the leadership in FBA is LGBTQ, and Tariq is possibly down low.
It's in Atlanta. You know that? There's damn near 200,000 LGBT people down there in Atlanta. So and a lot of them, there's a lot of policies that are Democrat friendly that they want to rock with. So they're like, yeah, we kind of got it. We see all these punks from the DNC who've been calling us up with all their horse crap. We see that. Yeah, it's like 194,000 LGBT adults out there. That's like 4% of the adult population. And those, I guess, the open ones. Yeah. And 30% of those are Black. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Williams Institute research. Yeah, look up Williams Institute. They estimated approximately 194,000 LGBT adults in Atlanta. I think it's more. Those are just the ones that showed up and got counted. The undercover punks didn't even, I don't think they filled out a survey. So, I don't think they filled out their punk paperwork. Yeah, those are the ones who filled out the paperwork. Just them undocumented punks. We don't know how.
Yep. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Like, again, he made it his business to go to Atlanta for his birthday weekend. He made it his business. Lord have mercy. I don't even know if they can even atone right now. Lord have mercy. It might have went too far where nobody don't want to hear nothing no more. Because a lot of times when people was able to come back around, it wasn't that bad. They cooning didn't move the needle, but this time it did. Shout out to HH for coming through with a 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Salute. Thank you for the triple up. A quadruple up, really. But yeah, salute.
How many it is down there? Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. Man, let me get the family in here. Let's chop up.
No, we don't want to hear the family. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building for coming through. East Coast Kev, you still in the building? You still in the building? Definitely can't unburn a bridge, man. Can't. Like I said, people was used to doing these little things before and it didn't really move the needle or do anything before, but now it did. So you're not going to be able to just hop back on the other side and act like you didn't do nothing. That's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. That's not going to work at all. But anyway, let me see if I could touch on this real quick. I'm going to touch on this real quick. Shout out to Afro Think Tank, friend of the channel. Shout out to East Coast Kev, a moderator of the channel. He just put me on to this video with Afro Think Tank, and we gonna watch it together. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're supporting the stream any way you can.
Think Tank. Today, I want to bring light to you a real movement that's happening in the Americas. Notice how I say Americas, not just North America. With the Afro Descendant Movement. Okay. Now, this is a real organization, not FBA, not ADOS. Those are pseudo organizations. Those are online fan clubs of Tariq Nasheed, right? Well, ADOS is an actual organization via white supremacy, but FBA is a unofficial fan club, Tariq Nasheed, quasi online hate group organization, cult or person.
Exactly. He teaching. He got the language totally right. Totally right. He teaching. You already know. Shout out to Afro Think Tank.
Personalities, right? But there's a real movement that is the opposite of FBA, and it's within the Pan-African sphere, right? Because understand, there's no movement really per se called the Pan-African movement, right? Because Pan-Africanism is not necessarily a movement, but there are movements under the guise of Pan-Africanism, because Pan-Africanism is an ideology of unity amongst all African people with our shared cultural and our shared experience, right? And one of those organizations is the African Descent Movement. There are a group of African Americans, Afro Caribbeans, Afro Latinos, and Afro anybody else unified under global Black empowerment to seek reparations and to unify with the continent and integrate themselves economically and socially. And they also are the group that goes to the African Union and the African Pan-African Parliament and lobbies on behalf of the various different African diasporas, right, around the world, led by African Americans. These Afro descendants don't distinguish from Haitian, Jamaican, African Americans, because they all know that these nationalities are new creations based off the situations we found ourselves in when we all were snatched and stolen Europeans from Africa. Okay? Not sold by Africans, their own people. Like unintelligent African Americans would have themselves believe and continue to want to believe, even though the evidence to the counter is everywhere. But since it goes against what they want to believe, they use cognitive dissonance to just believe the ignorant shit because it makes them feel better and it goes towards their, what they want to do as far as coming online and having a good time talking shit about other people that look like them because they got no life, right? So without further ado, I want to introduce you to a real movement, a real political movement, a real economic social movement that's happening off of the internet, even though it should be like they need to have more representation online because that's where information is disseminated. But these people are in the real life doing real things for African people and making real connections, business, economic, and governmental. All right. So without further ado, let's explore and take a look at the movement that is the opposite of FBA. All right. And that's the Afro descendant movement. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Shout out to the Afro Think Tank. I didn't even know about this movement neither. I did not even know about this. Shout out to Afro Think Tank for bringing this to my attention. Shout out to the bro. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Afro Think Tank channel. That brother be coming through with a lot of good information. A lot of good information. Yeah, me too. I did not know. Salute, Mario, Pablo. Salute. Oh, shout out to Laughing Like Saget in the building. You already know Africa. Shout out to the whole diaspora. You already know Justin March. Yeah, let's keep it going.
The term Afro-descendants refers to descendants of peoples who were forcibly dispossessed of their homeland, Africa, were transported to the Americas and slavery diaspora for the purpose of enslavement, were subjected to slavery, were subjected to forced mixed breeding and rape, have experienced through force the loss of mother tongue, culture, and religion, and or have experienced racial discrimination due to lost ties or partially lost ties from their original identity.
People are calling me and telling me, don't say anything, stay in your lane, be quiet, sit down, you will lose your seat, they won't vote for you, fight, don't fight. What the f do I have to do in this council?
Oh man, I don't know if I can keep playing this because it's got music. Now we're gonna do this for the edification of the people. We're gonna play the whole thing. If they copyright it, as long as they let the stream stay up, we good.
In order to get respect as a black woman, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not afraid of losing the votes. I'm not afraid of the seat. I'm not afraid of anybody here. This is the message that I got.
Don't forget this country is built with white people, sustained by white people. The presidents all back in the day were white. If you don't like it, why don't you take your ass back to your shithole with your stupid ass scarf on your head, you ugly fucking hoe.
This is what I get. I get about 3 or 4 of them in my office. I have 2 sons. I've made mistakes, and once I learned it, I corrected immediately.
I am Dr. Glennie King, also known as Dr. Akilo Mukaram, President of the Afro-Descendant Nation. And I respectfully support advancing the recognition of Afro-descendants as a distinct people with rights to self-determination, nationhood, and reparatory justice. Afro-descendants are not simply a demographic in a broader category. We are a people formed from forced displacement from Africa, chattel enslavement in the Americas, and the systematic erasure of language, culture, and identity. This history did not just disperse a population, it produced a new people. Without precise recognition, Afro-descendants remain visible in discussion, but invisible in outcomes. The Afro-Descendant Nation recommends the following. 1, formally recognize Afro-descendants as a distinct people, utilizing the clear working definition previously presented to this forum. 2, acknowledge and advance the legal recognition of the deliberate erasure of mother tongue African languages and cultural destruction inflicted through chattel enslavement as ethnocide. 3, support inclusive Afro-descendant-led decision-making consultations facilitated in collaboration with the Afro-descendant nation as a credible partner and representative voice to develop a comprehensive reparations framework for Afro-descendant peoples, including land restitution and restoration of resources and institutions. 4, establish a dedicated mechanism within this forum to address Afro-descendant specific issues, ensuring sustained engagement with Afro-descendant peoples in advancing self-determination, nationhood through peaceful and internationally recognized processes. And 5, recommend that the United Nations establish a formal seat for the Afro-descendant nation.
I'm definitely gonna go look into this Afro-descendant nation. Like tomorrow, when I get some time, I'm definitely gonna look into this. We might even have to do like a whole show about this. I'm liking this concept of Afro descent. I was thinking about that before. I was like, well, this should be a term. Like, again, I'm not saying I made up Afro descent. I don't want nobody to say, oh, you say you make up everything. No, I did not make it. I said I was thinking like this should be a term for all of us. Because I was thinking, like, should the term be returner? Because when Ghana had the year of return, I'm like, that's for all Black people. That wasn't just for Black people in America. So are we all just returners? I was thinking about that, but I'm happy that we got smart people actually doing the work and getting active. Her mistress, you recommended this too? Because I know I got people were sending me this video. It wasn't just East Coast Kev, but I know somebody else sent it to me. This was you too, her mistress. I can't even remember. I can't even remember. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Exactly, B-Hop. This is exactly what real leadership looks like. This is what it looked like when you actually trying to get something done. This is what it looked like when you actually trying to get something done. Also, family, remember I got 3 channels. Make sure you sub to all 3 of them. Do me that solid. Sub to all 3 of them. And you already know also support the stream. Best way to support it: PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. Let me know if you want a shout out when you send it, and in the note. Also, shout out to the Kinsley for coming through with the Canadian 5. Much appreciated. Yes. That's another thing I wanted to ask them too, because I'm not too clear on that. When they say Afro descendant, are they talking about Afro Arabs too and Afro Indians? Like when I say Afro Indians, I'm talking about the people who got taken to India. Because for all you don't know, there was an Indian Ocean slave trade too. So there was like a lot of Black people got taken to India. They still there. So it's like that's why I said I got to do like a whole show researching this. Like, are we just talking about the Americas, or we just talking about Afro descendants all around the world? But shout out to you again for that Canadian 5. Make sure y'all salute McKinsley. Oh, of course. I meant to make that announcement. On August 31st, we're gonna do. I'm gonna officially have everything written out. We're gonna do another BYB stream. I'm still, like I said, I was in the ideation phase. I'm pretty much comfortable where I got everything like written down. I know it'll still have work and it'll be work in progress later on, but I got an official platform. I got the official platform put together. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yes, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. I even think there's some in Bangladesh. Yes. Shout out to McKinsley again, coming through with the Canadian 5. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Good afternoon. Just a second. My name is Sheila Silva, and I am an Afro-descendant. For us Afro-descendants, identity is not just a concept. It's memory, the foundation for dignity, belonging, and collective power. Identity It's the cornerstone of people's progress. Here, I want to make clear who the Afro-descendants are. Afro-descendants are the descendants of Africans.
Oh, look, see, look. That's how true it is. Good thing we kept watching. We're going to get the definition right now.
Who were forcibly removed from their homelands, families, and cultures on the African continent, who were transported from Africa to the Americas for the purpose of racial chattel enslavement, who were subject for the system of racial chattel slavery, and who endured a process of ethnocide. Our ancestors, the victims of the transatlantic, European, and African human trafficking system, arrived in the Americas as Igbo, Mende, Yoruba, Fon, Wolof, Umbundu, Congo, and Wewe, among others. Diverse peoples were forcibly made to live, labor, and reproduce together under the conditions of terror, enriching other peoples and nations who are rich until today. We, the descendants of those human beings, were forcibly assimilated into foreign cultures, in my case in Brazil. We are labeled as Africans, colored, Negro, and Black. Some of these terms were later reclaimed by Black social movements as expressions of pride, but they were not originally born from our own self-definition and collective vision. If we understand who we are and what united us, we can move from survival towards true self-determination. Recognize our shared history provides the foundation for collective action aimed at achieving accountability.
Please wrap up.
Sorry, and reparative measures from those who have systematically inflicted harm upon us.
What does lady mean, please wrap up? What's going on with the please wrap up? I don't know if we could watch the whole thing because, again, I want y'all to go tune into Afro Think Tank's channel himself so y'all can watch that, you know, support the brother and all that other good stuff. Oh, let me see something. Let's see. Yeah, I said Bangladesh. And salute to you for being a historian in training. We need more historians. We need more everything. Salute. Shout out to Julius in the building. I don't know, because remember, they was already there. Like the Afro descendant movement is about people who were forcibly removed from Africa. You already know Jamaica and Ghana. Shout out to Kadash in the building for coming through with the 5. Yes, this is what a real movement looked like. This is what a real movement looked like. This is what a real movement looked like. You can't make this up. Can't make this up. This is what a real movement looked like. This is what it looked like when you really for your people, when you really trying to get things done, when you're not sitting around clout chasing all day. Shout out to Benevolent in the building. As far as I know, this is a new movement. I never heard of it before. I only found out just now because of Afro Think Tank. So yeah. So I'm gonna let the sister finish up and we're gonna move on to something else.
Thank you.
Oh, she finished up. So we're gonna move on to something else. Shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all could go watch the rest of that video by going to the Brother Afro Think Tank channel. Make sure y'all do that. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Make sure you go watch this video. We definitely gonna be doing more on this topic. I'm really feeling that. Oh, that is definitely a fun fact. I didn't know that. Did not know that at all. Shout out to McKinsley for coming through again with some good information. But yeah, we're going to move on to this real quick. For all you who don't know, this bozo, Badempanada, and that just reminded me, he did a video response to me. So I definitely got to do a video response to him sometime in the future. But this bozo right here just made a video. He's attacking FD Signifier and accusing him of being a plagiarist. Mind you, We just watched a black professor unalive himself in the UK because a racist white professor accused him of a plagiarism. Who thinks that this is like somehow a coincidence that Spoiled Empanada, thank you, Brolo Polo, Spoiled Empanada didn't, it's a coincidence that he now decides to do a video about FD Signifier, a black man who people recognize as an intellectual, a smart black man that people learn from, and accuse him of being a plagiarist. Who thinks this is a coincidence that he chooses now to do a FD Signifier is a plagiarist video? Who thinks that's a coincidence? Who? Shout out to June Zone for coming through with the $4.99. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, bro. Make sure y'all shouting out everybody who come through. Got me one step closer to my goal. We 3/4 of the way there. But yeah, let's see what this bozo got to say.
So what do you call it when someone starts repeating ideas that they got from someone else verbatim as if they're the ones who came up with them? What do you call it when someone who just a couple of months ago sounded very different suddenly starts saying the exact same stuff that someone else has been saying for way longer in basically the exact same wording, without crediting them or even hinting at the idea that what they are saying may not be their original creation, that they may have gotten it from another source? So this is something that is generally called plagiarism. And today I'm going to be highlighting a case of someone plagiarizing me, a big YouTuber plagiarizing a small YouTuber and presenting that smaller YouTuber's ideas and work as their own. This YouTuber is called FD Signifier. Now, FD Signifier, just a few months ago, was calling me a Nazi. Since then, FD Signifier has taken to very extensively plagiarizing me. Now, I've been talking.
He called you out because you were using neo-Nazi terminology to talk to, and reference to a black man. You called the black man a Zod slave. You called him a Zod slave. You did that. You did that, and when after Signifier called you out about it, you laughed about it, and you said it was funny. And you tried to justify it by talking about Palestine. The Spoiled Empanada, if you don't know, I found this out. He's half Argentinian. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. And he wasn't. He wasn't. He wasn't.
For about a year now about this Democratic Party consulting firm called Fight Agency. And FD Signifier originally had absolutely no idea about anything to do with Fight Agency. Just a few months ago, he had clearly never heard of them, and I'll go over in a little bit the proof of him clearly having never heard of them before. And then he saw me talking about them clearly and started talking about them himself as if he's the one who had this idea the entire time, who knew all about them the entire time, who saw through their grift the entire time, when that's literally directly contradicted by how he was talking about their candidates just months before he started talking about this, started talking like this, or weeks before in some circumstances. So he's done this on multiple occasions, but the reason why I'm making this video is because he's going on the Bad Faith podcast with Brianna Joy Gray. Brianna Joy Gray, by the way, is someone who definitely watches my channel. I know for a fact. She knows what he's doing here, but she doesn't call it out.
I don't know how I feel about Brianna Joy Gray, to be honest. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Here we have him talking about Fight Agency like he knew what they were up to all along. And you know, he's been seeing through this the whole time. They never would have gotten him.
And like, I said something because the thing that I peeped when I was looking into Plattner is that Plattner, Mamdani, the mayor here in Atlanta, and so many of these folks are Fight Agency creations. And the fight agency has clearly hacked the team sport leftist brain, recognizing what buttons need to be pushed to what degree, in what situation, and in.
I'm gonna pause this real quick, and I never heard of fight agency, but I want to say this: I gotta pat myself on the back because I've been told people that all these lefty candidates that you're starting to see, they all come from the same source. Somebody tried to argue with me about that. I said the same people who giving you Mondani is the same people behind Plattner. It's all coming from the same source. It's coming from the same source. I said that. Again, I'm not claiming to ever heard of fight agency. I don't know what that is, but I was saying that to people, and people said I didn't know what I was talking about. Well, let's keep this going.
And in what context to get people to lower their critical faculties and focus on the catharsis of winning for once, right? And I said in this conversation, it's kind of scary to that they have hacked the ostensible left and are now. I'm starting to get tired too. I'm sorry. That they basically hacked our brain and figured out what makes us tick, and which means that they've already kind of cornered the market on where any of this can go, and it might be too late to stop it at scale.
Isn't that wonderful?
Again, I said that. I called this out even before it even happened. I'm happy I'm so correct. See, I'm more correct than I even knew. People are now coming on to what I've been saying, which I've been said was going to happen. Before it even happened, I said this was going to happen. I didn't know the names of the people who were going to do it. I just said how it was going to happen. And now look, it happened, and I pointed out how it's happening. People said I didn't know what I was talking about. Now it's known that there is a group pushing the same people giving you Mondani, the same people giving you Plattner. So I was right. I was right. I got to pat myself on the back.
This is surely his own original thought, right? And now he's talking about like how skeptical he is of the DSA politicians and all this stuff. And, because of the fight agency stuff, as if he knew this all along, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe there's some 7D chess that they're playing that's going to get us free. They're going to all.
No. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired.
Are you still a member of Democratic Socialists of America?
Of the New York City chapter. That face is appropriate. Because that is not a thing.
I let my membership lapse.
I couldn't believe my ears. The morning after election night, I let my membership lapse a month ago.
Just for this moment. Kamala is coming for AOC's spot.
We need to revisit the Electoral College. In some ways, this story that we're about to tell of the...
What is this music? What's going on with this music? And is this okay? Shout out to McNasty in the building for coming through. Yeah. Oh, for all you don't know, I had an interview. We're going to go over that probably tomorrow. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated you for shouting me out and bringing that back to my attention. Yeah, you could argue that. I always say it's horseshoe theory. They the same. Especially when it comes to black people, they the same. And for all you don't know, ZOD stands for Zionist Occupied Government. So it's a neo-Nazi term. So they'll call you Zod or something like that. He called a black man a Zod slave. And when FD Signifier tried to talk to him and explain to him why that's not okay, he laughed about it. He said he thought it was funny. I guess dark woke or whatever they call it.
Disappointing left of the last week or so. In some ways starts with Graham Plattner. Woke one was crazy.
I don't even begrudge Mamdani and AOC and all of them for the way they're behaving. I will not be because that is what they're meant to do in the positions they're in. And then when they come back to us for our vote and support again, we're going to have an evaluation.
Are you? So FD Signifier, who apparently evaluates politicians like, for example, Kamala Harris, who had been committing genocide as a part of the government of Joe Biden in Gaza for about...
Kamala Harris committed no genocide. Kamala Harris committed no genocide. In fact, Kamala Harris was the candidate of choice for people in Gaza who are actually experiencing what you call the genocide. Yes.
About a year before he made the video that I'm about to show you here, you know, he's been ahead of the curve on this the whole time. He's known their game. He's a critical, radical left-winger who sees through the electoralist bullshit. Here's what he said about Kamala Harris during the 2024 election.
I will be voting for Kamala Harris in this year's presidential election. I also think that you should vote for Kamala Harris in this year's presidential election. Based on my personal beliefs and what I know about Kamala Harris, I think there's potential for some good things to happen under a Kamala Harris presidency, even if those things probably aren't actually a result of Kamala Harris herself. But if Harris's record as a senator is any indication, she'd be one of the most progressive presidents ever.
He doesn't.
She would be the most progressive president ever. She would be not one of the most progressive. She would be the most progressive presidents ever.
All for it, right? Where did this come from? How is this guy suddenly coming out and acting like this, especially given what he was saying about Graham Plattner much more recently, just months before he started acting like he had his finger on the pulse of this sort of thing the entire time, right? You look at his video on Graham Plattner just a couple of months ago. There's no mention of fight agency, nothing like that. Comment that's pinned and hearted by him is someone saying, could we do better? Yes. Should we do better? Yes. Do I want him to get elected? Also, yes. And his conclusion regarding Graham Plattner was, it was not like this extremely self-assured, oh, I know what the game is here. You know, this is a character being presented to us by this sneaky Democratic Party consulting firm to fire the left-wing wires in our brain and manipulate us. Here's what he said, actually.
I don't know. I do not know, right? And I'm not going to say I do not care. What I am going to say is, would it be better for the country to have one less Republican senator? Yes. I'm not going to act like that's not true.
That was his actual conclusion about Plattner. And now he's coming out and acting like he knew about the fight agency stuff all along. You know, he knew that it was an op all along. He knows about the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with all these politicians all along. Where did that come from? Well, as a result of his recent dispute with me, FD Signifier clearly realized that he needed to do like something of a rebranding in order to maintain some of his like unearned credibility as a supposed radical leftist that he had just coasted off the assumption that he was one before, even though he never provided any real reason for anyone to think that. To realize that he needed to do something about it, and his way to do that was to literally plagiarize me, just plagiarize me one-to-one, because the whole fight agency thing comes from me. I've been talking about them for a year at this point. I'm the main person in this space who's been talking.
So let me get this straight. He plagiarized you because he mentioned something that you mentioned a year ago. Again, I'm not jacking none of this plagiarism talk. But let's say, for example, matter of fact, I'm not even saying for no example. I'm not jacking this. I'm not jacking none of this plagiarism talk. All right, you talked about fight agency first. So what? That doesn't mean he plagiarized you because he's talking about it now. Like, you see the race bait and he was doing again with this headline. FD Signifier plagiarized me. Imagine a YouTuber claiming another YouTuber plagiarized him because they're talking about something that they talked about. He didn't say he discovered this. And even if he found out from watching your videos, he could have found out from your videos, researched it and said, all right, this is true. And then now he's talking about it. How is that plagiarism? You didn't make this up. You act like this was like some, like you just created your own theoretical contribution to Marxism or something. And then FD Signifier just started saying it word for word. Like you created Badempanadaism. And FD Signifier was sitting up there like, yo, hey, I created this new thing called Badempanadaism. Like, come on now, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I already knew it. Like tomato. Put your tomatoes up.
talking about fire agency this entire time. He has a dispute with me, and literally weeks after that, he's suddenly talking about fire agency. And I'm not just talking about the Brianna Joy Gray clip there. He made another video where he just plagiarized me even more blatantly than there, where he acted like he knew all this stuff about Graham Plattner the whole time. He tried to frame Graham Plattner as like a white people issue, right? Black people had the pin on him the whole time, which is ridiculous because the only people who had been calling out Graham Plattner were like foreigners. The common denominator between those who were saying that Graham Plattner was clearly like a disgusting mass murdering freak before the rape allegations came out were foreigners. But they're trying to reframe it as like a domestic American race issue to avoid having to talk about imperialism, right? And here he is even more blatantly plagiarizing me in this video.
No. Plattner is a race issue because it's clearly anti-black to have even put somebody like Plattner forward. Like, come on now. It was clearly a race issue. And you weren't the only people calling out Plattner. I was calling out Plattner day one. Like, come on now. Obvious to a dub. Got a Totenkopf tattooed on his chest.
Plattner is the latest project out of the Fight Agency. The Fight Agency is a political consultancy that was started by some ex-Bernie Sanders, ex-John Fetterman folks. And in recent years, they've been behind the success of Zohran Mamdani, as well as people like Dan Osborne, Bob Brooks, etc. And aside from Zohran Mamdani, you kind of see what's happening here. All we're missing is Hank Hill. Like,
tries to make it like a white person thing, you see. But apart from that, you can see this is from June 2nd, 2026. His original Plattner video, where he sounded very different, is from April 30th, 2026. In just the course of a couple months, everything changes. So what happened? Well, so he talked to me on Noah Samson's stream on May 24th. Then 2 weeks later, he suddenly put out that video that we just watched, where he sounds suspiciously like me talking about Fight Agency. So what happened is clearly that after that discussion on Noah's stream, he went and looked at what I'd been saying about Graham Plattner, because I had previously made a video criticizing his stance on Graham Plattner before that discussion. And also, I discussed on that same stream with Noah Samson at length the problems with Graham Plattner and the broader reaction to him immediately after talking to FD Signifier. He got that directly from this segment in my big Graham Plattner video on my main channel. Because Zohran Mamdani's campaign is run by a Democratic Party consultancy firm known as Fight Agency. Fight Agency either manage or outright control the campaigns of pretty much every single significant Democratic Party so-called progressive electoral candidate. They ran the John Fetterman campaign, for example, which before Mamdani was their most prominent success. And it just so...
Oh, I was right again. I told y'all, all these people are connected, even to Fetterman. Oh, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I made all these connections without knowing any of this. I just knew it.
Happens that Graham Plattner is literally their pet project. It's Fight Agency, the people who Hassan Piker has direct contact with, who he is directly collaborating with, that convinced Plattner to run. He is running on their platform essentially as their guy. Everything about his policies, how he talks, what he says, his persona, his image, it was decided on by Fight Agency. Fight Agency have done this with a number of other people as well. In an article by the Washington Post called Here Comes the Rugged Guy, 3 candidates are profiled, all of whom are bearded, rugged, supposedly working class guys, all of whom are military veterans, and all of whom are managed by Fight Agency. So the reason why Hassan Piker is just throwing out all of these ridiculous logical arguments to defend Graham Plattner is because he has direct connections with
Exactly, Justin Marsh. We about to get off this because again, this is all his evidence that he got to prove that he was plagiarized by FD Signifier. It's like it's nonsense. So it's like, let's give it to him that he researched this and he came and he brought it to the internet first. He brought it to BreadTube first. He brought it to the lefty space first. So now anybody who talks about it or researches it for themselves is now plagiarizing you. Nonsense. Beyond nonsense.
Exact same sorts of frames of their website shown in my original video, then shown in his video here where he acts like he knew this all along. I wonder what that's about. Plattner's campaign itself. That's where he got this from, right? That's clearly where he got this from. It's why there's such a drastic shift between his debate with me and him talking about Graham Plattner and Fight Agency as if he saw through them all along, when he obviously didn't, when his previous politics of, like, you know, supporting Kamala Harris after a year of Gaza genocide contradict the idea that he's been seeing through this stuff all along quite clearly. And you could say, oh, there's no problem with changing.
What's wrong with support? What does Kamala Harris have to do with any of this? Why are you bringing her up? She has nothing to do with this.
In your views. But when you change your views so drastically in such a short amount of time, by taking your new views directly from someone who you just had a conflict with a couple of months earlier, who called a Nazi as a result of that conflict, who you basically like framed as someone who's like a moron who's totally worthless and all that sort of thing, for you to then take uncredited what they have been saying and present it as if you believed it all along is a clear case of plagiarism. This is not simply someone changing their opinion, not even close. This is someone directly taking new ideas from someone who they were in a conflict with and presenting those ideas as their own in an effort to whitewash their image, because he was feeling a lot of pressure. He was feeling a lot of pressure about his, like, supposedly radical left-wing image being eroded a bit via his conflict with me. A lot of people were thinking a bit differently about him than they had before. And his response to that was this appropriation of my views, the sort of thinking that I've been developing on my channel over the last 2 years or so, as if he'd believed in it all along. And the shift is so drastic and so sudden that it's very obvious that he got it from someone else. And given that I was the only one saying this sort of stuff until, you know, the Graham Plattner like rape expose pushed Fight Agency more to the forefront, it's pretty obvious where he got it from me. It's a case of pure plagiarism. And I wouldn't have any problem with him changing his views on this if he had said, you know what, he was right about the Fight Agency stuff. I should have seen this myself, you know, whatever.
Did y'all even have the conversation about the Fight Agency stuff? And again, how did you prove that he plagiarized you? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Somebody help me out. Is this proof that he plagiarized? Has he given any proof? Because we about to get off this. We're definitely not dealing with this whole thing. But has anybody seen any proof of plagiarism? Because he just broke it down why he feels he's been plagiarized. So is the spoiled empanada correct? Or is this just racism? Again, you're accusing him of plagiarism at a time like this. So you so smart that you figured all this other stuff out, but you don't think you don't understand that it's not too smart, or this is not the right time to be accusing a black man of plagiarism after what we just saw happen in the UK.
But he never said that. He immediately moved into talking about it as if he had felt this all along, when he obviously hadn't. And just looking at what he was saying a few months before he started saying this stuff clearly contradicts it, very obviously. So this is a clear case of plagiarism. And if someone plagiarizes this blatantly, like, he surely knew that I would have seen this and I would have called him out for it, right? It is clear, obvious that he plagiarizes in the rest of his work as well. You just need to have the necessary context to be able to tell. If I watch one of his 3-hour-long videos about wrestling and pop culture or whatever, I probably wouldn't be able to spot the plagiarism because I don't have the familiarity with that topic necessary to be able to spot it. But I imagine if someone who has like reviewed wider literature on the same sort of topics that he talks about in those videos, you know, other videos talking about the same sorts of topics, I would wager that that person would be able to spot him taking other people's ideas that are not just like generalized ideas, right? Like not just like things that are widespread to the point where no one knows or really cares about who originated them. Rather specific ideas from specific people and presenting them as his own original work without credit.
We done. Because now you accusing FD Signifier of plagiarizing multiple people. So it's not just you. He's been plagiarizing everybody. He just out here plagiarizing, and people just don't catch it because his videos are so long and they're not familiar with the content. So that's why they just don't catch the plagiarism. Like, come on now, let's get out. We out of here. Maybe I might watch the rest of this video offline by myself, and if I see something that we need to come back to, we'll come back to. But come on now. Exactly. Exactly. We got to get out of here. The spoiled empanada just like, hurt my stomach. Exactly. That's, it'd be plagiarizing. Like if you had like a specific phrase or something like that. Like even, I wouldn't even, like, let's say for example, if somebody copied, like I'd be saying things and people be copying off of me. I wouldn't consider that plagiarism. It's just me talking about topics and people picking up the information and then now they going around saying it. Only time I ever seen somebody like, well, I would say, all right, you plagiarizing, is when I saw like the Black Authority, when he tried to use the term Black American primacy. I made that term up. I made it up. I defined it. Now you try to come and try to take the term and try to run with it like that's something you've been pushing. Like, come on now. And the non-racist Argentinians too. And the indigenous Argentinians too. They got my support too. Non-racist and the indigenous. They got my support. Like, yeah, I got to get out of here. Shout out to everybody in the building. We off this. We off the spoiled empanada. But anyway, let's do this. Let's end the night on something light. Because yeah, we about to end the night. As you can see here, somebody sent me this video. I forgot who it was, but this is a video exposing Phil the Advice Show when he was actually having to explain to people about his wife. When it finally came out and it got exposed. And he had to explain it. Because as you know, I did a video about Phil the other day about him clout chasing and being a xenophobe and didn't know that he was like bigging up a Nigerian. So somebody say, well, you should go over this too. I forgot who it was, but we about to go over what Felipe Scott said, trying to justify his behavior. But anyway, also shout out to the RBG for the win. Thank you for the $4.99. Much appreciated. $4.99 super sticker. I'll take it. I'll take this super sticker. Bravo. Bravo. Yeah, but let's get into this.
Nigga explaining now.
Wait, let's bring that back.
Oh my God. Phil Scott from The Advice Show is on YouTube nigga explaining now. And see, I was going to stay out of this because I didn't have a good or a bad opinion of Phil Scott at all when all of this controversy came out. But by now you've probably heard that Phil Scott from The Advice Show has been outed as pretty much a hypocrite because he's a guy that's always telling black men not to date white women.
That is an ongoing issue. And, we as black people can stop this. We could stop it so easily by just committing to ourselves. Say, look, we're not going to date, marry, or procreate with them because they don't respect us. We live in a system of racism and white supremacy.
And it turns out that his wife of more than 5 years is white. I mean, he does a lot of explaining about that and calls her native.
Oh, yeah. Also, I want to say, before we go on, I want to say that too. Phil did call her a white woman. You know how I know that? Because he told me that. Because for all you don't know, when I first started doing YouTube, I started to dibble and dabble with the live streams and I was interviewing people. Phil was one of the first people I interviewed. And he told me that out of his own mouth. And I told other people. That's how people first found out. And then Phil went around denying it and lying about it. Trying to make me seem like I was a liar. And that he didn't tell me that. Out of his own mouth. And then when he finally got exposed, he was blaming me.
American and all.
I mean, when he finally got thoroughly exposed, when he couldn't hide it anymore.
All these other stuff, but basically she's white. If you look at her, she's white. So my thing is, I am.
Yes, I used to have a show. Phil came to the show. And we talked. This is back when Google Hangout days. Salute to Return of the Palo Walla. I think she's like Mexican, but it's like he was calling her white because I think she refers to herself as white, so he was referring to her as white. So that's what it was. He told me she was white because I'm pretty sure that she was referring to herself as white. Not that channel. No. It's a super old channel. Like I don't even think the video is even up anymore. Like if I'm gonna be honest with you, like because a lot of these older channels that I had, I got locked out of because I lost my computer. Somebody, my girl at the time, she changed my passwords, and she doesn't remember what she changed it to. So it's like, no, it's not one. It's not that channel, and it's not anything like that. But it is on older channels. Shout out to Moore for coming through with the 10 jewels. Much appreciated. I'll take those gold coins. What's up, Flavor Genuine? Salute. Also, a member of the channel. Family, if you want to, you can go hit that join button, become a member of the channel for yourself. Yes, he told me. I'm not lying. I gotta go see if I can find that. I got a copy of it somewhere. Because I got external hard drives and it might be up on there. But he told me out his own mouth. Out his own mouth.
Not for interracial dating. And if you say you're not, you need to back that up. That's called being a hypocrite when you don't. My wife is black. All my kids are black. So I am not a swirler, interracial dater. I'm not in one of these guys who's on right-wing black guys trying to go after Phil. None of that. I am pro-black, but I'm not all rah-rah about it like some people, including Phil. Here's what he posted today. Well, some of it. I'm not going to play all of it.
Speak to everyone about a lot of recent events that have my name in it. And it's been a roller coaster ride, definitely for me this week. I went from shock to confusion to kind of like sad about a few things to extreme anger about a few things to now being back at my level-headed self. And usually when I'm in those kind of mindsets, I don't like to really address something on my platform. I'll talk about things on other people's platforms, which I have, but I want to come and address things on my own platform. Now, I'm pretty sure if you don't know by now that, you know, someone don't know who they are. I don't know if they're a white supremacist or what. And I'm always looking at the motive, even if they are a black person. You had a faceless account, found a picture from 4 years ago of me and my wife. And they put it out there. And the thing is, people that followed me from a long time ago knew my wife was Hispanic. They knew her to be not a black woman. They knew.
That's what is crazy is a lie. The only people who knew that that followed you a super long time ago, I think is when you first started. Because remember, Phil started as a gender warrior. That's how he first got traction, as a gender warrior attacking black women, trying to be down with Tommy. So that original beginning of that gender warring crowd, they probably knew. But when you made that switch and you try to dibble and dabble in the pro-black stuff and you try to present yourself as a news anchor and stuff like that, that crowd that you got did not know until I told them. And then you kept lying and kept saying she was black, she was black, she was black, she was black, she was black. Then you switched it to, oh, she's she's black, but she's an Afro-Latino. Then you switched it to, oh, I thought she was black because I got family that look like that look like her, that are black in Louisiana. Yeah, you told a bunch of lies, Phil.
Do that. Anybody who knew me saw my wife always. You know, everyone who knows me know her. So it was never an issue or a problem until as of recent. Now, my wife racially identifies herself as a Native American, but we have a group of people, you know, which I learned this week. I did not know that there's only two racial categories to a lot of people. There's only black and white. And if you're not black, you're white.
No, Phil, this is a lie. Because I remember you told your wife that she that you said before that, oh, my wife was saying that she was white and she's a white person from Mexico, but I told her, yo, you kind of look a little Native American to me and you should take a DNA test. Or and she did, and some Native American popped up. You said that, Phil. Now you try, like, again, you trying to make her anything other than what you originally called her. Somebody just hit me on the Cash App. Salute. Wait, where are you in the chat? You just said you in the chat. I don't see you, but drop another comment because I don't see you. But salute to you for coming through on the Cash App. Much appreciated. Much appreciated.
It don't matter if you're Asian, if you say you're Native American or whatever, you're white. Didn't know that. That's new one on me. Even though the United States Census break down race in 5 different categories, which is Native American, Black, White, Asian, and Pacific Islander or Native Hawaiian. They break that down now according to ethnicity, according to the U.S. Census and how they classify things. Either are Hispanic or non-Hispanic with ethnicity. So ethnicity is one thing, race is another. All week, I've been hearing that my wife is a white Latina. Now, my wife is heavily offended by that because she cannot stand racism and she definitely can't stand white supremacy and she don't want no attachment to that. But that's what people done all week long.
Nah, bruh. Nah. See, you got a few violations in there right there. Okay, so first of all, it sounds like all this week you've been all into your feelings. And that's a lot of feminine energy, bruh. A lot of feminine energy. Also,
yes, he was crying that whole time. Somebody even told me that Phil put a bag on my head because they said it was a faceless account that did it, and he thought it was me. Because remember, I'm the one who originally brought this to people's attention where people would actually question Phil. I'm the reason Phil stopped jumping on people's panels. Because for all you who don't know, back in the days, YouTube had something called Google Hangouts, and you would have YouTubers pull up to people's Google Hangouts all the time. It wasn't a big deal. Phil stopped pulling up to them Google Hangouts because people kept asking like, yo, Phil, is your wife white or no? And he would just jump off. Yes, he definitely did. He embarrassed himself a lot. Wait, time out. I was calling you June. Let me look a little closer. That's not June. Is your name June? June. Junine? Juicnine? Junine? That's how you say it? That's Junine? Tell me if I'm saying your name right. Is it June? Junine? It's not June. It's Junine. I thought that was June. That's Junine. Junine Joan, right? Hopefully I got that right. Yes, Justin Marshall. Google Hangouts times was wild. You would never know who would pull up for it. You would never know. So you said June in zone. June in zone. And somebody else is saying Junine. 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 So he's saying June end zone, and somebody else is saying Junine. Okay, cool. We're gonna move on. Bro, I'm gonna let the brother tell me whether I got it right or wrong. You know, I've been slaying them. That's why they don't like me. That's why they don't like me. All these bozos know me and they don't like me because I've been exposing them. Came in the game doing it. Yes, correct. The mid 2010s. Shout out to Dr. Carpy in the building. Exactly. Tim Black been a bozo. Nobody even knew who he was until the Young Turks scooped him up when they try to try to blacken their stuff up a little bit. And then when they didn't need him no more, they discarded him. Total bozo, total fraud. But yeah, we're gonna keep it going. You said I pronounced it right? All right. So okay, it's Junine. All right, Junine. I got it. Like you can't make this up. But yeah, let's keep it going.
So then you move on and say that your wife is Hispanic. First of all, that doesn't match up with the tweet that you sent out about a year ago saying she was half Native American and half black. That doesn't match up. So now she's Hispanic. But not only that, Hispanic, according to you on some of your videos, equals white, because Hispanic is just a term that white people use to inflate their numbers. That's what you said. You said that on many videos. I got receipts. Next point. Now you're using the US Census to prove something now because it benefits you. That's nothing but hypocrisy, dude. Again. Okay? You can't turn around and now use the census, which you berated before in the past, use the census now when it benefits you. Okay? Another point, exaggerating about people's reactions to you. Really? I mean, seriously? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't deserve all this that people are saying about you. You do, because you've been very hypocritical. You haven't been giving up all the details of things. You've been hiding certain things. You know what the deal is. You knew that if people found out your wife was white, you would never have blown up the way you have in the black community. All right. So you're exaggerating and trying to make other people into the bad guy for calling you out on your mess. And that's not cool, man. That's another violation. And then you go on to villainize.
Exactly. That is 110% a fact. You would not have blown up like this, Phil. You knew what you was doing. You knew what you was doing, bro. Like, get out of here. You knew what you was doing. You're not no victim. Shout out to King. What is it? King Darius. Let me see. I can't even see. Yeah, I'm inquiring minds want to know why these dudes none of them got no black wives. None of them. None of them. But they ain't got no problem talking down on the black women, neither. They got no problem talking down on black women. Like, you can't make this up. This is an old video, so this is not the end of him, because if he was going to get ended, he was supposed to have been ended already. Like, this was, when that picture of him with his wife came out, didn't end him, nothing going to end him. Like, it basically turned him into a zombie. Because like I always tell people, you can't kill nobody on YouTube. You could just turn him into a zombie. Phil is a zombie. Make no mistake about it. He's a zombie. I killed him on this YouTube, but he's just been reanimated and he's just walking around. He's a zombie. He's a zombie. Looking for who he may bite to infect. That's it. He's a zombie. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Other YouTubers for doing videos, according to you, through AdSense, like they don't have a right to get paid for their content when that's all you do. That's all you do is make money off your content. So I don't care whether the subject is you, Bill Cosby, whoever. People have a right to make money off their content. You have nothing to do with that. And so you're trying to down other YouTubers for monetizing and making money off of something that's currently in the news, which is what you do all the time. Okay.
I thought that I'm producing news and social commentary, and I'm delivering that as I promised that I would with people who support. I didn't know that would cancel anything I'd ever done because of who my wife is. I did, trust me, that is not something I even thought about. My thought was always the people, what I can do, what's the next story, what's just trying to get the news and information out so I can keep my people informed, because you know good and well the mainstream media is not trying to inform you of anything to help us. They're not going to do that. But what is my responsibility out of all this? Because I do take responsibility for how some of the things have spent out of control. Should I have said up front some things? Now I look back at it, even though I say my privacy, I could have said a few things different. Sure. I could have answered some questions that I felt at the time I shouldn't be answering. Yeah. Because didn't know that people get so heavily invested in my personal life. That's new for me. I'm not gonna lie, that's new for me. When I started doing YouTube videos, nobody cared about my personal life. Nobody. And O'Shea Duke Jackson and even Minister Jab said the same thing. Both of them. If Phil only had 200 subscribers, none of y'all would be talking about him. Y'all don't care less about it. But all of a sudden,
it matters. Talking about, oh, if he had 200 subscribers, nobody would be talking about it. Exactly. But the difference is, at this time when he's making this video, you had over 400,000 subscribers, and you claim to be a voice in the black community. It matters. That's like Barack Obama saying, well, if I wasn't president, y'all wouldn't even care about the stuff I do. Exactly. But you are president. Like, this nonsense. Nonsense. I think this video might be like 8 years old, 7 years old. Let's check. Let's check how old this video is. Yeah, 7 years old. This video is 7 years old. This video is older than FBA.
now you care about it. I mean, but it comes with the territory. I get that. Now, there was this tweet. Let's talk about this tweet. That this same person that put out the picture of my wife went and found a tweet from last year. And the woman I was talking to, I've been knowing her just for maybe a couple of years. She lives out in the UK. And she had asked me a question about my wife. Now, I should have broke that down a long time ago too. Are you coming here to watch news and social commentary? Or are you coming here to find out about my personal life? That's just that simple. No one has their life out there like that. And I have a right to my privacy like anyone else. And it's quite funny that everyone follows Colin Kaepernick. And yet you're holding me to a higher standard than Kaepernick. And Kaepernick, according to a lot of them who's saying things about me, he's not black. Because if you don't have two black parents, you're not black. But they support Colin Kaepernick. They also support Colin Kaepernick.
What? Now, see, that's absolutely ridiculous. Dude, you are no Colin Kaepernick, okay? In more ways than one. Look, all you do is sit there in a suit and tie and repeat news stories that anybody can find out on their own and give 2 seconds or 2 minutes of commentary on it. At least Colin Kaepernick has risk.
Like I said, Phil, I always call him Reaction Show Phil. He doesn't do news. He just does reaction. Like you're not getting no insightful information from him. He's not breaking anything down. He just plays a video. And then after the video go off, he go, that's bad. That's good. Thank you for watching. And it ends it. He doesn't do political commentary. He doesn't do social commentary. Like, come on now. He babble. Yes, Phil is babbling. Do y'all want to watch the rest of Phil babble? Let me know. Let me know if y'all want to keep watching this. I think Phil exposed himself thoroughly. But I think matter of fact, we could watch a little bit more of this. We could watch a little bit more of this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Millions of dollars. He's a high profile person, more high profile than you, so people can find him easy. They know where he's going to be. So he's risking his life and risking millions of dollars to center in on an issue that's important in his community. And he is black. And all the people you say that are on you, and they're also saying that Colin Kaepernick is not black, all those people are trolls. Those are not the people who are angry.
Nobody said that. See, Phil made that. I'm happy I watched this a little bit more. That's a lie. Phil's made that up. That's a lie. Nobody said that. There was nobody calling Phil out who was also saying Colin Kaepernick is not black. Maybe like 2 people. Maybe. I'll give him that. 2 people. But it's like that wasn't a thing. I was around for this. People was calling you out for your hypocrisy and how you constantly lied about the issue and how you attacked black women this whole time under the guise of, oh, I'm just trying to correct the sisters. I'm just trying to elevate our sisters. You know, I love our sisters. So when I say here had a hyena and here had a hooligan and all that other stuff, don't be mad at me. You know, I'm just calling out some of them. But while you was making those videos, blowing up, making those videos, you had a whole white woman next to you, as you say, as you called her. You called her white. Now, come on, a whole non-black woman next to you, while you trash black women for a living, and you took care of her and her kids. Because remember, Phil is playing stepdaddy. That Mexican woman he married to, that white woman, that non-black woman he married to, she got kids from a previous relationship. And Phil is taking that pro-black YouTube money and taking care of her and them kids with it.
Angry at you right now and want to unsubscribe to your channel. You disrespect those people by trying to act as if they are the same people that are saying that Colin Kaepernick is not black. That's not true. Those are trolls and coons who are saying that Colin Kaepernick is not black. So you disrespect the people who are subscribed to your channel like that, who don't want to subscribe to your channel anymore. Why would you disrespect those people like that? Then you mentioned the tweet from a year ago that I mentioned where you clearly stated that your wife is Native American and black. You mentioned the tweet, but you don't go in to even say what it said and what you meant by it and explain how you meant it or anything. You just mention it and gloss over it. This is why people are starting not to trust you, bruh. Now you're going.
Yeah, that's why, again, this is why people started attacking him. And again, he said Native American and black this time. Another time I saw where he was asked this question and he said, what's it called? He said she was an Afro Latina. He constantly lies. Constantly lies. Constantly lies. And again, I got to give myself a pat on the back because I was the one who brought this to the forefront. I got to give myself a pat on the back. I was the one who brought this to the forefront about this bozo.
Have people searching for the tweet. You shouldn't have done that because they're going to see, well, he just said she was Hispanic on the video he did today. So now the tweet from a year ago says she's Native American and black. Doesn't add up, bruh. So you got yourself in a little deeper now. Violation. Then next, you actually think your wife is Native American? Do you actually think she's Native American? If she's Native American, she's the new Native American because she looks completely white. And if you say she's Native American, you know, she sure doesn't look it. Maybe she's one of those $5 Indians that you spoke about before. Yeah, you spoke about that too, about white people pretending to be Native Americans. And I'm not defending white people here. Let me make that clear. I'm not a coon and I'm not defending white people. I just don't believe in hypocrisy. And if you want to think she's something other than white, okay, you can think all you want, but people are going to judge how she looks. Black people are going to judge it. White people are going to judge it. The courts are going to judge it. The police are going to judge it. Everybody in society judges people by how they look. And she looks white. So she will be classified as white, bruh. So that's another violation. And then you say that you don't owe people anything. By people, I presume that you mean your subscribers. Yes, you do owe them something. You owe them a minimum of respect and a minimum of honesty. And if you're going to be coming on up here on YouTube every day, telling black people, men and women, that you don't agree with interracial relationships and that it's not a good idea and black men and black women shouldn't be with white people, and telling black men that in this climate that we live in, it's not a good idea and you don't advise them to be walking around with a white woman, and then you're out in public walking around with a white woman, that's very much hypocritical. So yes, you have to walk it like you talk it. You very much do owe them that. Yeah, especially the people that have donated to your Patreon and all that, you owe them a lot. Yes, you do. And so that's a violation. Then you're accusing people of clout chasing. You know, clout chasing on you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So what is that all about? Just because people are coming out telling the truth and saying that you haven't told the truth doesn't mean they're clout chasing. Okay? That is not what that means. Okay? Nobody's trying to clout chase on you. If they are, it's very few people. So stop trying to exaggerate that. And by the way, in the comments section, I notice now there's fewer comments, a lot fewer comments than he used.
Oh, let's speed this up. And on top of that, what you said, you're not embarrassed to be this dumb. Are you talking to me? Mike Green, you asking me? Oh, I don't think you're talking to me. Shout out to you, though. Oh, yeah, I definitely got more pats on the back than a baby. I definitely had to give myself multiple pats on the back for being right. Because I'm going to definitely go look for that, see if I can find that interview tonight. No, I mean, not tonight, because I got to go to bed. I'm definitely going to look for that. Because if I find that interview, legendary. If I find that interview, legendary. Watch. I'll have it out his own mouth saying his wife is white.
Usually gets the minute he releases a video, and there's no negative comments. Now, if you do videos at all, you know there's going to be some negative comments. There's no negative comments at all. And that means that he's screening out the negative comments and only putting the positive ones up there with these dumb people who are saying, I'm still with you, Phil, and I'm here and I'm all the way in Kenya, and you're doing a good job, bro. And I don't care what people say, Phil, I still rocks with you. And Phil, I'm over here in Ghana, and I think you do a great job, and I don't care what color your wife is. Those are coons and people who would do the same thing that you're doing, or who are actually already doing the same thing that you're doing. Bottom line here, do I think that this is going to ruin Phil Scott or the Advice Show? Probably not. I was on the Advice Show page today, and the subscriber count did take a hit for a minute, and about 1,000 subscribers dropped off. But I don't think that's the real concern here for Phil Scott. I think because subscribers are kind of easy to come by, people who just drop by your channel and look, but active subscribers who participate and actually fund what you're doing, drop some money, that's not a large percentage. So he doesn't want to, let's keep it a buck. This is about that bag. And if his bag ain't got that big of a hole in it, it just kind of leaks a little bit, but it's intact, then he'll be okay with that. So I think he's on YouTube like this today, trying to do damage control. And in my opinion, it's a very poor attempt at damage control, because all I heard was just some pointing of the finger at other people and belligerent attitude and trying to explain, trying to deflect, and trying to still say that his wife is not white. So, I don't think that this is going to make that big of a difference in the outcome of it. That's just my analysis. In the end, I don't think it's going to make a big difference, but it is kind of a wake up call. You got to live it how you give it. You got to walk it how you talk it. And once again, I am not a hater. I'm not a Phil hater.
I am a Phil hater. I'm definitely pointing that out. Shout out to Mississippi in the building. Shout out to Mississippi in the building. Oh yeah, that's what I said. I kind of knew you wasn't talking. I gotta figure you wasn't talking to me. Shout out to Mike Green in the building. I did find out. Oh, you must be new to the stream. You went back to the beginning. I don't know who you're talking to, so yeah, I'll let that ride. But anyway, family, I gotta get up out of here. I'm happy to be back. Hopefully, I could be back some more. Oh, shout out to Land Diggy for coming through with 5 jewels. Much appreciated. I'll take that treat. But yeah, family, I gotta get up out of here. We didn't hit the goal, but that's but it's fine. I'm much appreciated to how far we did get with the goal. I'll take it. Even if we got 1% of the way to the goal, I'll take it. But yeah, let me go do the shout outs. I'll see y'all later. Make sure y'all go subscribe to all my other channels. Remember, I got 2 channels. I got 3 channels. Go subscribe to all 3 of them. And you already know PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, best way to support the stream. It's in the pinned comment in the top. But yeah, let's give some shout outs before we get out of here. Shout out to East Coast Kev for setting it off and coming through with the 5. Shout out to HH for coming through with the $4.99. Shout out to El Senora for coming through with the $1.99. Also a member of the channel. And like I said, whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to Justin March, my first moderator. Family of Justin March has gifted you a membership. Make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Shout out to Justin March. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 10, doubling up with the 10. Shout out to Boycott Activision for coming through with the 5. Shout out to Justin March for doubling up with the 2. Shout out to Media Dreams for coming through with the $1.99. Media Dreams 99 coming through with the $1.99. Shout out to HH for coming through with the $9.99, doubling up. Shout out for to Gozam Bora. I keep saying that wrong. I heard it was one of these anime names. Thank you anyway for coming through with the $1.99. Matter of fact, let me look at something real quick. Let me look at something for real quick. Because I want to make sure. It's Goziburo. Goziburo or Goziburu. Thank you for coming through with the $1.99. I had to go look on my phone so I could look at it closer. Thank you for coming through with the $1.99. Shout out to HH for becoming a new member of the channel. I think this person is a level 3 member of the channel. Much appreciated. Even if it was level 1, I take it. Much appreciated. And family, if Justin March gifted you a membership, make sure you keep it going. You can raise the level, lower the level, whatever you want to do, but keep it going. Also, shout out to your tech homeboy for coming through with the $1.99. Shout out to HH for coming through with another $1.99. Not another $1.99, but with another contribution. Shout out to McKinsley for coming through with the Canadian 5. Shout out to Kadash for coming through with the $5. Much appreciated. Shout out to Junine? Yeah, Junine Zone for coming through with the $4.99. I'm gonna remember the name. Shout out to RBG for the win for coming through with the $4.99 sticker. I love the super sticker. Shout out to Moore for coming through with the 10 jewels. I'll take those that gold coin. Much appreciated. Shout out to Land Diggy for coming through with the 5 jewels. A treat. I'll take that treat. Salute. Peace and blessings to everybody. Hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow. I want everybody to have a good night, good afternoon, good evening whenever you see this. I appreciate all the support. Shout out to everybody who came through and watched the stream, because that's support. Shout out to everybody who liked the stream, because that's support. Shout out to everybody who dropped a comment. That's support. Engagement is important. Shout out to everybody who hit that reaction heart. That's support. That reaction heart in the corner. Shout out to everybody who dropped the fire emoji. Shout out to all of y'all. You said it's pronounced Juneteenth, but we getting too many different pronunciations because the dude just said that it was June, it was Junine, but I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah. Oh, shout out to 2026 for coming through with the 10 jewels. Hiding, you must have been hiding all stream, but I'm happy you came back through with the jewels. Much appreciated. But anyway, family, I'm about to get up out of here. Shout out to the 2 people who donated and hit the Cash App. I can't get out of here without thanking them. Salute to the 2 people who hit the Cash App. And like I said, family, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, I take it all. You just let me know if you want a shout out. That's it. Just let me know if you want a shout out. So just let me know. So again, shout out to everybody in the building. Thank you for everybody who coming through. I'll catch y'all later. And on that note, family, you already know. Peace.